The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody, it's the Macho Savage. You're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it, the Macho.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the youth Ganon Giant Tomorrow. And that's my story.
Using mere words to describe that Trash Talking Radio show from 7 to whenever we get done is like using a screwdriver. Cut, roast, beef. This is Lunella Sean, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. With the Trash 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Alright, hey, this is the Animal. One half of the world undertaking the road warriors leading the dome. If you know what's good for you, you're ready for Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. Hulk, what do you got to say about Trash Talking?
Well, I gotta say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch because what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you?
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this. When the Vital Idol tells you, it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
Trash Talking Radio Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week, and tonight a special edition show.
Woohoo!
That's right, special edition, and it's all about New York City and my adventures there. Let's see if I can do this right. Okay, I did do it right. Oh, yay, I did it right. That's the first.
Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this. Way above par, the Trash and...
I think I know something about this. I don't know. What am I doing? Why do I think that I can do this? Okay, here we are. Hope everybody had a great week. I had a very strange, off-the-wall week, and I'm going to share it with you tonight.
Woohoo! I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
And by the way, there wasn't a lot of bad stuff that happened. There was only really one bad thing that happened.
Uh-oh.
So we'll address that one as we get there. I'm going to try to do things according to the timeline. I do have a timeline. And where do I have Where do I have the timeline that I didn't write down? That's a good question, huh?
I wonder.
Well, I'll tell you where it's at. I took pictures of everything. Not of everything, a lot of pictures. So I'm gonna go by pictures that I had taken for reminders of things. Well, I didn't take them for reminders. I took it. Wait a minute, I'm on the wrong page. I'm not even on my show. Hold on. Now I'm on my show. Okay, there we go. I still want to invite people that. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna take a few seconds to invite some people that may not go, but if they do go, they would want to see, because some of it's about them.
Well, at least you took pictures. That's good.
Well,
at least you can.
I say I took pictures, but when I say I took pictures, I meant people took pictures and gave me pictures, and I took some pictures of my own. But okay, so who do I want to invite? I want to invite them. Okay, I can't really see. I hope I can invite them. Let's try that. All right, there we go.
My week was overall good.
Yes, talk about your week.
Yeah, it was overall fairly well.
All right, that's good.
So, not too much. Not too many bad things happened to me either.
Well, that's good. It's good to have good things happen to you, because I hate when bad things happen. And then, as everyone's looking at my crotch right now, sorry, that was not meant to. So I usually have a press release out Monday, but I wasn't here Monday, so I didn't do it Monday.
Right.
So I tried to put one before the show, but it's just one of those things that didn't get out. So I put a quick one together, and it doesn't cover a lot of stuff, unfortunately. But that's okay. All right. Good. So I'm glad I'm in tune with somebody. All right.
Things happen. It's okay.
I'll take a deep breath. Really, I'm serious. This has been a crazy, crazy week. When I start telling you some of this stuff, you're going to say, that didn't happen. But it did. It happened. Everything I'm about to say is true. The names may have been changed to protect the innocent or the guilty. I don't know, one or the other. But so for those of you that don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't know, if you're any fan or follower or friend of mine, you know I was not in town from Wednesday through today. Well, I mean, today, obviously.
I didn't know.
Oh, well, see, like I said, I wanted my friends to know that. I didn't want you to know, because you're an employee. And then, that gets complicated when you start telling everybody. Let me see. I got to do one more thing, and I'll be ready in. I hope my sister's
there's Christine. Hi, Rue. On my way to train with Martha.
I hope my sister's on, because no one knows anything about what I'm going to talk about except me. And I don't even know, to be honest with you. I'm going to attempt to recreate the past week.
Ooh.
So, all right, there we go. I think we're ready to roll. Who is that? What's that? I didn't do what in the world? I must have posted that last week. Okay. All right. We're not going to be doing any real stories today. They're real stories because it happened for real, but they're not stories that were put out by, most of them were not put out by anyone but me and people that surrounded me. So, all right. I left here at 4 or 5, because I had 4 or 5 at night, because I had a training I was working on.
Okay.
So I drove, just drove, and it's only 3 hours from here, so that's not bad compared to when I go to Florida, when I'm like killing myself to go to Florida. And I got there around, I got there around 9 or 10, whatever it was. So the 3 hours between the time. And by then Marcia and Tina were already there, and they already claimed the rooms. And I get there, and they said, "Oh, you're going to like this place."
Okay.
It was not at all like the picture showed.
Uh-oh.
The picture showed didn't show necessarily a bigger place, but it showed different furniture and mirrors and stuff, and the only mirror they had was in the living room.
Oh.
So if you're a woman, you have to put on makeup. You have to go out to the living room to do the makeup. So we asked them about that, and they said, "Oh well, there was a mirror in the bathroom, but you know what happened was the last person that stayed there broke the mirror."
Oh,
well, that doesn't. I don't care. I don't care
Right.
who broke the mirror. We don't have a mirror.
Right.
So then they proceed to tell me, "You're going to like this." In the bathroom, it was. Well, first off, when I went in the bathroom, there was a spider.
Oh.
First thing I saw was a spider on the ceiling, and I thought, great, spider. All right, well, you know, worse things could happen, like
Right.
say the floor was falling in.
Right.
That would be a worse thing,
Right.
right? Well, guess what? The floor was falling in.
Nuh-uh.
So what else do you think could, you know, at least the tub didn't have black stuff all over. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, it did. At least the floors were, nope, they weren't clean either.
Oh my goodness.
There was a towel for me,
Mhm.
and I think there was a towel for, I think one other towel. I think Marcia or Tina, I think we had to supply our own towel. This is an Airbnb. The refrigerator was not a real refrigerator like pictured in the picture. It was one in the college dorm. So it was a half a refrigerator. So we started off like really bad. It started off like it was, but my room was okay. I mean, you know, it was a queen size bed. It was big enough for me,
Right.
and I had my own TV and I had my own room, so I could close my door and everything was good there. But we had one bathroom to share between the three of us. Usually we get places with at least two bathrooms, because with two girls in the place, you got to
Right.
be able
Right.
to, you know. So, you know, that started out a little shaky, but, you know, survivable. It's not going to kill the whole thing.
Right.
Except that when I get in, one of the girls also said, the door doesn't lock.
To the bathroom?
No, the door doesn't lock to the outside.
Oh, no.
Now, okay, I don't know anything about these things and these doors and these electronic doors and stuff. You had to punch a code to get in the main door, then you had to punch a code to get in your room. And you got to punch it in the right sequence and all that stuff. So I got through the first door after a period of time. The second door, I couldn't get it to open because I didn't have a problem opening it because it was already open. It was already unlocked. And they proceed to tell me we can't leave because the door doesn't lock. So I start texting the guy saying, okay, here's some issues. And as far as the door problem, it was our issue because we were stupid. There's a little switch on the door that will close. When you close the door, it'll automatically lock it. And if you don't want it to automatically lock, you flip it the other way. We didn't know that, and I would never thought of that.
But why don't say that, hey, just like just FYI, so you guys know, switch this, it'll lock it, switch it, it won't unlock.
Right. Well, he did tell us that, but he told us that after the fact. So the whole first night we're thinking there was no way to lock the door.
But that's the thing. Why not tell it up front? Like,
well, he probably thought we were smart enough to figure it out. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna ding him for that, because that's probably more common knowledge than not if you're in that type of Airbnb. But I've never run into it yet. Well, now I have. I mean, obviously.
Christine says, what about the visible roach and the mouse traps everywhere?
Well, yeah, I was going to talk about that, and thank you for reminding me, because I don't know if I would have remembered that.
The sunken floors bathroom was no sun flooring in front of sink.
Oh yeah, it was, and there was a towel.
The water issue.
Yeah.
Shall I keep?
I'm getting there. Don't
keep
shut up
on?
yet. Don't give that one up. I'm going to talk about that one. I got to do it in order, because if I don't do it in order, I'm going to forget things. And there's a lot of things.
The heater. Rue's sweatshop.
See, I like that heater. Don't complain about it. My room was very warm the first night, and I liked it because it was cold to get there. So I was okay with the heater. They did not like the heater, but the heater was in my room, and I was happy with the heat. Now, I'm not going to complain about the heat. I was happy with the heat. They were not happy with the heat, but I didn't want them in my room, so I turned the heat up.
I can't blame them on the heat. I cannot stand heat.
I generally don't have it too hot. But I just was cold because I was out in the cold.
Yeah.
And I was cold, so The other problem, of course, was the parking. They did have street parking, but it was by the people that that lived there, knew the system, and if you come in at any time, day or night, it does not have parking because everybody's parked in already. So the first night I parked 2 blocks down and 2 blocks over. It was the closest I could find.
Of course.
The second day, it was 1 block up and 1 block over. The third time it was 1 block up, 1 block over, and 1 block over, but it was at a church, so at least I knew it was a church or a religious school or something, so I figured it was probably safe there. So, all right, so that was good, and I was glad that was, but anyway, so that's the beginning is how that all started. So we all slept and everything was good. Well, I mean, as good as we could make it. And
Christine says fried chicken. There's a pot smell to greet you every night.
Yeah, this place was, I mean, at night I was scared of the place. The place did not really appeal to me, but as it got lighter, it actually looked like a nicer place once you could actually see it.
Right.
So, I mean, they have their garbage trucks that come down twice a week. Of course, the garbage people don't care about the garbage. They just ring it in, and if it makes it in the truck, cool. If it doesn't make it in the truck, too bad. It's on the floor. It's on the ground.
Oh my
and glass is breaking on the ground, and you have to drive over it.
Where is this in New York?
This is not New York. This is Jersey City.
Oh, okay.
This is just outside of New York because you can't get a place in New York for any reasonable price.
Okay.
Now, one thing that was good is that place was not an expensive place, but there's a reason it was not an expensive place.
Yeah.
So, all right, so first night I slept horribly, but I slept. And I woke up, and I woke up to Marcia saying, I woke up to hearing this F-bomb, 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 F-bomb. What is going on? I'm like, I'm hearing this out in the living room, and I'm like, what? I don't know if I want to come out of my room. I didn't know if we were attacked by, the neighbors, but I'm like, well, actually, no, was that the first night? That may not have been the first night. It may have been the first night.
I'm sorry, Christine. He would forget his coat or food or so.
That's true.
Have to walk back to the car.
Yeah.
LOL threw a few F-bombs.
Yeah, that was true. I would say fudge. Yeah. Anyway, so I get up the first day. Well, I got up early the first day, and I moved the car before they even knew it was moved. And I was really happy about that. And I got drinks. We didn't have to be anywhere the first day.
Right.
Early. So I took a walk out my car, brought it over, and Marcia was having a fit. She needed to have special water. She couldn't have, well, I can understand that. She couldn't have anything else. She had to have this special water. And, and by the way, let's not pick on me too much, Miss Hackety Hack, because the whole time that we get there, she's all weekend. And so don't you get on my case, Miss Hackalum. But it was... Anyway, so I walked across the street to the Iranian or whatever it was across the street and bought some water and stuff. And so we all had real water rather than whatever they had in that place, because who knows what they had in that place.
Right.
And so the first day was, we were kind of...
She's flipping you off.
Anyway, so the first day, actually, they wouldn't let me go to bed the first night. I shouldn't say they. Marcia wanted to get something to eat, and I was like, I don't really care about eating. I just want to go. I want to go to sleep. But she dragged me out to the Applebee's, which happened to close 10 minutes before we got there. So the kitchen closed like 10 minutes before. And 10 minutes after we got there.
And said it was the kind of you to get water.
Yes, it was. It was very nice of me. That was but the night before. See, this is the thing. I should have had a timeline because I was going to write it down, but I didn't really write anything down. So we went and we went to Applebee's and like they really would. You could tell they wanted us out of there because they were like, you could see they were shutting things down little by little. And we got our order in like 30 seconds before they closed the kitchen. So we did get our food, but anyway. So let's see, what day did this happen? I think it was the next day when we got up. We were in. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday. So it would have been Thursday. We didn't have to be anywhere till that night. Okay, that's it. Okay, so Thursday we got to eat at a pretty nice restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Carmine's.
Okay.
And we had to be there at night, so we had the whole day to pretty much get our act together. And we went over to this place called Carmine's, and it was a really, really, I mean, I sat there and I got to sit next to Tanya Kleckner, who was a casting director, and I was, made small talk with her, and we were talking about, she's British, okay?
Okay.
So she knows things that I know things that she likes, like
right.
Monty Python.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like Monty Python if you're British.
Right.
And you gotta like, she talked about when she was growing up, her father was a musician, and he knew all the acts that were big then. Acts like The Who, and acts like, oh shoot, who was it I was talking about? I was talking to her about Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of cool to have a conversation with her one-on-one. She was stuck in her little area. She couldn't escape me that way.
Right.
And so I told her about some things I was working on, some projects. I don't think she's ever going to sign me, but I figured I'd at least talk to her as if she was a friend. But they overspent their I mean, they had a lot of food there. They had these giant meatballs, and they had these lasagnas, and just unbelievable amounts of food. And it was funny because one of the owners of the company got the bill, and she said, "Oh," she flipped out. She's like, like she didn't expect that bill being that big.
Right.
And then she gave it to her partner, and he was like, you could tell he had shell shocked and gave his card and stuff, and they paid it, but it was so much food there. But okay, did you ever see Clerks?
No.
Did you ever see? He had some newer stuff too, but anyway, there was a guy in Clerks named Brian.
Okay.
He was there.
Oh, okay.
So I got to meet him. Oh, I didn't meet him that night, but I met him later on. And also an acting coach from Stellar Adler.
Okay.
Stellar Adler, if you've got to be a big actor to use them. So it was really neat to see he was there.
Right.
I didn't get to talk to him then. I didn't get to talk to either of those till the next day. But it was just kind of cool to meet him. So that was kind of neat. And so we ate our food and went our own way and stuff. Let me see if I forget what I picked. So hold on.
I think I just looked it up. It said it was like an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, it's a really nice.
It looked nice.
It's a place I would not normally eat at because I don't usually want to spend that much money for the food. But there's nothing wrong with it. I just am cheap. All right, here we go. We're going to go on the slideshow now. I don't even know what slides are going to come up, but there's obviously none on. Okay, so we also decided to go to Radio City Music Hall and the Christmas tree lighting and all that fun stuff. You know that I enjoyed tremendously.
Of course.
I said I wasn't going to go. They trapped me. They drove. Our friend drove all of us because she knew where it was. And I got trapped in the car. I had to go.
Oh.
I was like that. I was like the kid that you put on the leash and make sure he comes along. I didn't really want to go. I was doing everything to get out of it. And I thought this was it. I thought this was a tree. And I thought, oh, that's good. We're here. Okay, we'll be going home then.
Right.
That's not the tree. But it's cool. I always wanted to see Music Hall, Radio City Music Hall, or whatever it's called. I always did want to see that because at some point in my life, maybe want to play there.
Right.
Kind of cool. So there's the giant candy cane.
Awesome.
Right across the street from Radio City. I didn't enjoy it at all. So just to let you know, even though I'm smiling, I didn't enjoy it. I'm smiling because I'm not there now. There's so many people there. It's unbelievable. How many? What do you need to see? I'd like buy a bag of candy canes and put them in those formations just to stay from going there. There was a lot of stuff that was, I mean, if you like Christmas, that's a good place to go. There's the giant balls.
Oh.
There's my balls right out there for everyone to see. And that's a taxi cab, by the way. It was driving by as I took my balls out.
Of course.
Then there's another picture of the balls. And there's another picture of the balls. Then there's another picture of this. I thought this was it. All right, we're going to go back to the car. And I was excited thinking that was it, you know. And I thought, oh, well, we're done now. We're going to go back. And there's the balls again. Oh, wait a minute. Back up a little bit. Oh, that guy looks like he's getting arrogant there. He's getting the whole people back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was so many people there. I mean,
it looks like. I mean, I've always heard New York City.
If you'd like to know who Marcia is, that's a good picture of Marcia, and a good picture of Tina's phone doing a selfie in front of the real Christmas tree.
Okay.
Where's that? I don't know where that was. Yeah, that's the real tree. So to the left of that and down below is ice skating.
Okay.
I guess it's a thing. People like to ice skate.
In New York, yeah. I knew that.
Well, that's where it is. If you wanted to know where it was, that's where it is. And then we got, there she is. And she's not flipping the bird right now. So that's a nice Christmassy thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, wait, there she is.
Because no one can get by without. Okay, so if you don't know, we got this thing going back and forth between us. All three of us, we have different ways of exposing the bird. So it used to be just two of us, and then it became three of us, and then it became everybody in the street. And in New York, that's perfect. All right, then there's another one. There, lesbian kiss. Love lesbian kisses. I almost had fun. Okay? That's Cynthia.
Okay.
She is a new addition to the flock. She's the girl that was taking us all over the place that knows New York City.
Okay.
She's also an actress, actually gorgeous model too. And she's like 35, I guess.
Nice.
But she's really, really, really nice, and we bonded real well. I mean, we went to see her before we left for the airport. And we stopped and saw her. She's a good person. She's actually so nice. It's just being that close to New York. I didn't think there were any nice people up there.
Right. Now, is all that close to Times Square?
That is Times Square. We're on Times Square. All this stuff is in Times Square. I don't know where this is. I don't know what this is, but it was really cool. It's a light show on a building.
Oh, nice.
It's really cool. And if you have a problem, you can report it right here.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, but it's really a neat thing. It's and all these things are attractions. And if you look down here, there's like carriages and stuff like that. There's all these guys on bikes that have carriages attached, and they all have them customized to their own carriage.
Oh,
and
nice.
like one of them said VIP on it, one of them said Christmassy stuff, and it just was like they have music that they play in their little carriages and stuff, and
nice. They're
annoying as hell. They get right in front of you, and they'll drive around your car while you're parked there. It's annoying as hell. But the ride itself would probably be okay. But because they're all themed and stuff, and they play music.
So you're going back to New York very soon, aren't you?
No, I will not go back to that. You'll find out why later. I'll explain it later as it comes in the story.
Going back to New York and staying at your favorite area.
What that says? Christian Diocese. Okay, the Christian Diocese. That's what that building is.
Okay.
I still, but it just was a really a lot of this stuff was pretty high tech, and I'm a high tech guy, so I like high tech stuff.
Right.
It was kind of cool that they actually could put this on a building and do things with it. Okay, so this is a cathedral. It's so weird to see this cathedral in the middle of a city that's all giant buildings, like straight up buildings. This is actually a pretty nice looking church, and there's a story behind this church. I think it's a Catholic church. A couple got arrested for having sex in it. But the reason I know that is it was Howard Stern fans broke into this church to have sex in it and got caught.
Oh.
Now, Howard Stern had nothing to do with it, but they were fans of his, but that's how I found out about it. But I was thinking about it the whole time. I was like, oh, that's the church. And I got some neat pictures of the rest of the architecture of that church. Architecture is really a cool thing. I don't mind architecture. Trees, I've seen trees. I've seen a lot of trees. And I've seen trees when I was a kid, too. Didn't have to wait. But anyway, I mean, look at all these people. Look at these people. There's lots of people. And, oh, by the way, that other thing was over here.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we were that close to it. I mean, it was this building here, but it was just about here. So that was kind of neat. And then there's some other, this is the door. I mean, the architecture is really cool. Don't go to sleep yet. So there's some more pictures of the building and stuff. This was a flag flying off the building.
Oh, nice.
This is across the street. I don't know what it is, but it's a guy holding there. There's Martha. Oh, all the girls got flowers.
Oh.
What happened was originally, Martha said, "Oh, you're going to get me a flower." I thought, okay, just why not? I bought her a flower, and I thought, oh fuck. There's one with 5 girls. Oh, damn. So I ended up buying all these girls flowers. I'm just a nice guy. But that was fun. That's the steps. I don't know what I was taking a picture of there.
Steps?
Yeah, but do I care about steps? The door was kind of cool. This is all that Catholic church or whatever. They had a little one compared to the other one.
Yeah, really.
There's the big balls again. This time we're closer to them because we're all on the same side of the street. And me saying, humbug. Now, this is the next day. So,
isn't that,
yes it is.
let me the guy from The Sopranos, Bobby Finero.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I knew the name.
He and I, we had never met in person. All we met was on Zoom. So this is one of the stories I want to tell you. Because you started asking me this question, I didn't want to answer it yet.
Okay.
He came up to me, or I came up to him, and we hugged and everything, and shook our hands, and he said, I said, how you doing? He said, real good. He goes, so, what are you working on? And I said, that was a perfect door. It opened right up for me. And I told him about Flock. And he said, he wants to see the script. And I asked him if he'd be interested in being part of the project. And he said yes. He said he might be. So, I said, I'd like to attach you to the project.
Right.
And he said, okay.
Yay!
I think that's an affirmative, so.
Yay!
That was kind of cool. I was very, very happy about that. By the way, I want you to take a look at me, and I want you to realize how much weight I lost. I look like a regular person.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a regular person. Now, he's a little bit taller than I am. Believe it or not, he's a little taller than me.
Really?
He's 6'3". I'm 6'2". And I looked at him and I said, wow, you are 6'3". You are taller than me.
I wouldn't think. It looks like you're a little.
It's the angle. And he was standing behind me. So, but he's a really super guy.
It seems like you're leaning a little bit so that you might not as tall as.
I'm leaning because I was scoliosis.
Right, right.
My back brace wasn't on right, and it just really messed me up. But he is so nice. I chatted with him today a little bit, and he gave me his personal email address, and I sent him stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just going to have to wait to see what he thinks of
Yeah,
the stuff,
really.
and it's got me on the edge because
I bet.
I hope he liked it because I kind of it's exciting and scary at the same time. But he respects my work, and to me that's so cool because this guy is someone in the business.
He can either
he'll
get you real far, or
and the worst case scenario I see is he'll criticize it and tell me how to make it better.
Right.
Because that's what he does. He doesn't tear things down. He explains things and tells you this is what you need to do to make it better.
Right.
And maybe he'll ask to collaborate with.
Right.
Because I'll write him in if he wanted, or he can direct. I don't care. I just want him attached to the project.
Right.
But I have another surprise for you coming out.
Ooh.
It was a good. The trip was well worth it. I mean, it was awesome. There's another picture of him and I. There you can see he's a little bit taller than me.
Yeah.
But he's behind me. And I'm just so happy. I'm like, while I met him, he's like,
Look at the big smile on your face.
This is Leslie. This is the person I'm going to have on the show. One of the people. I'm going to actually have Marcia on the show. I'm going to have Christine on the show. I'm going to have Leslie. I want to have Bobby Finero on the show. After I have Christine and Marcia and that, then I'll have Bobby on because I'll know the bugs will work well.
Right.
And Leslie, I've been telling her I wanted her on for a while, and I've got to talk to her. She's just a little Puerto Rican girl. I mean, it's or a Latino girl. I don't know what ethnicity, but I don't care. She's just really small. I mean,
she's just a little girl.
She's a girl you can put in your back pocket and carry her with you. You know, but she's so nice and so, for lack of a better word, sexy. She's just the way she carries herself. She looks good. She sounds good. She's a positive person. She's just everything you want in an actress when you're trying to like build a script and stuff. And she's been in a lot of stuff that you've probably seen.
Probably.
I think she was in. I might be wrong now. I might know the wrong. I'm going to say some things I think she was in. I think she was in Grey's Anatomy. I think she was in. Huh?
I've never watched that.
I never watched that either, but I know people that do. I think she's done CSI, or one of the CSIs.
I've watched CSI Special Victims.
Yeah, I don't know which one. I don't know which franchise, but they are offering her all kinds of work, and she's doing really well.
Good for her.
And I'm really happy for her, and I just think she's a sweet girl.
Yay for her.
The people that I have around me are the most positive people. There are some that aren't, and there are some that are really out there, but they aren't in my circle.
Right.
These are people that are in my circle, and they're really people that I want to take with me when I make my projects. I want to put her in there. I want to put. There's another girl that I want to put that's. You saw Bewitched at one time or another, right? She would be my Mrs. Kravitz, not her, the other girl. And I don't know what I'm going to do with her because I got to think about it because I just happened to see her and I thought, I want to take her too. So I'm seeing these people and I'm thinking, people I want to attach to my project are people that I'm working with now.
Right.
See, did you hear of anybody in Friends before Friends?
No.
That's what I want to do. I want to take a bunch of people that you don't know and make them into something.
Make them somebody you know. Yeah.
Because if you hire people that are actors and actresses already, you're gonna have to pay them a lot of money.
Right.
But if you build it around people that aren't there yet, then we all win because we all grow with it. And I can make this project, given the right circumstances, I can make it another Friends.
Yeah.
I can make it work. And I just need the opportunity to do that.
Right.
And then I can get a writing team and we can and I mean the three girls that are working with me now, they've suggested a lot of things that I've put in it because the characters are really based on their personalities.
Right.
But I took what I thought was their personalities and they said, what if we did? And I did that because hey, I don't know you as well as you know you.
Right.
So it's fun. But this is Leslie, and she will be on the show eventually. We figure out. I want to do this probably around the first. I'll probably do it in January. The year's ending. We're wrapping it up, and I don't
Right.
think I'll do it before that. Or if I do, I'll do a test show with somebody just to see if it works. Maybe, like if you're at home, I will do it with you so that I can get just to see how it's, and not even, we don't even have to talk about anything. I just want to see how it looks on the air.
Right.
Because once we get this
Or let me
working-
know. I can definitely not.
Yeah.
I'll definitely stay home that day and we'll try it.
We can do it any time of day.
Yeah.
Because I always work.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, but I do.
Oh, yeah. Well, you work for me.
Yeah.
What's that?
This is. Here, let me take the mic off and stand up.
I'll be your. Okay.
This is a shirt I got when I went to the concert for. Oh, who was this? Her name's Terry Clark. She's a country singer.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I thought that was just you.
No.
Wow, really?
She has a song called "I'll Be Your Dirty Girl."
All right. Cheyenne's having a party or something.
I guess.
All right. Next slide. Oh, there's one of the roses I was talking about. Did she have it in the other picture?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I couldn't give just one woman a
Right.
rose. I would be
Where's my rose?
upstairs.
Okay. Okay.
I would have if I had thought of it. But believe me, I had very, very little sleep this week. I'm lucky I'm awake right now. Every time I go to these things. Oh, so this is painted on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Now, the reason I got it is because it reminds me of something that I was barking about earlier. So I'm going to send that to Rich. So that's the only reason I have it. This is the sad thing. So, before we go to this, we'll just go back to the well, we don't want to concentrate on that yet. So
That has to be a story behind that.
There's a big story. So what happened is that night after the night after that I met Panero, we were supposed to go to another dinner.
Okay.
And they were supposed to buy us wings at this place called Down the Hack or something.
Okay.
Like that. So as we get in the car, I'm being told, "Oh, we're not going there," because one of the guys says that the reservations were made, and when they got there, they didn't have enough tables and stuff. So
Oh,
they
no.
canceled it. So we go like, "Oh," I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, good, let's go home."
Right.
Because I'm tired as anything. And so I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be good." And then one of the girls says, "Why don't we do something else? Why don't we go somewhere else?"
Oh no.
And then I said, "Oh, we could always go. I don't know how to say it. We could. It's David Drumgold's birthday. We should go. So we should go out and meet with him." I don't know if I said it, but one of us said it. I thought, that won't be bad.
Yeah.
So now he happens to be somebody who's going to come again in the story, and he's a friend of mine that when I first got acting classes with Bobby Finero, there was I felt there were a few people that stood out. Myself, Marcia stood out, and the other person that stood out was David Drumgold. David Drumgold, I thought, was the only one that was better than him.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this guy's really good. I need to know more about this guy. Because I was learning from him.
Right.
And I shouldn't be learning from him. I was thinking, you always want somebody better than you.
Right.
Because if you're going to achieve things, you need to have someone better than you. And he was that somebody. I would do a script, and then he'd do the same script, and he'd do it a different way. I'm thinking, oh, I should have done it that way.
Right.
Or he would do a script, and I think, ooh, how can I do that? I can't do that way because he just did it that way.
Right.
You know, I felt it was competitive, but not competitive. Nothing was competitive because, you know, you're both trying to do the best you can, but we had different takes on it.
Right.
The thing that's cool about him, aside from the fact that he was in a major film, it was a film that came out in the 90s called, it had Patrick Swayze in it, and it had not Wes.
You said David what? What's his name?
Drumgold. But the Patrick Swayze was in this movie. It was called To Wong Fu with Love. Okay? It was a controversial movie because you have to think of Wesley Snipes and Patrick Swayze in a dress.
Okay.
Okay? Well, David was in that movie. Are you seeing it? Are you pulling up David Drumgold, or what are you pulling up? Go to IMDb.
That's what I'm at.
And put in David Drumgold. D-R-U-M Gold.
Yes.
And he should come up. That's him. He's my buddy.
Okay.
He's a great guy. I actually just pulled up because, I'm talking about it. He is probably my closest male friend in the business.
To Wong Fu.
Yeah, with love. I think it was with love.
Thanks for everything.
Oh, that's what it is. I'm sorry. I think it was with love.
Dear Luke, Love Me, Stonewall, and Hustling.
That movie was so I remember watching that movie when it came out.
1995.
I wasn't sure that I was going to watch it because it really was such a weird name for a movie. I didn't see why I would want to watch it, but I think I was with Pam at the time. And I thought, okay.
It has photos. It has photos.
What year was that?
1995.
Okay, so I was with Pam at that time, and she suggested to see it. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll go see it if you want to see it. And actually, it was a funny movie. But I never imagined Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes in this movie, especially Wesley Snipes, because Wesley Snipes is a tough guy.
Right.
So to see him in a dress and stuff, I'm like, that's a little different. You don't know what? I'm gonna go. Let me see if I have your camera. If I have your.
Oh, hold on. I don't think I have it up. No, I was looking at the pictures, but.
What are you laughing at?
Just, I never saw them in a dress, and now looking at them.
So that's the thing. That's the thing that I think is interesting about it was that the last person you would expect to see. Oh, I do have the IMDb up here. Did you look up David or did you look up the movie?
David, and then I clicked on the movie.
Okay.
Underneath it.
So to give people an idea, now David's a really, really wonderful guy. He's like, I got another story to tell about him later. Okay. So David's a friend of mine. He's a working actor, and he does like all kinds of. He's a SAG after worker.
Looking to save big on holiday shopping? Xfinity Mobile has you covered. Learn how you can get a free line of unlimited for up to 2 years with Xfinity Internet. And
there's a reason why I thought he was better than me, and that's because he's better than me. There's no question about that because he's also got more experience than me. And I asked him, by the way, do you get residuals on that film? And he said, yeah, actually. But, I mean, it's not a lot of residuals for a movie that old, but
right.
he's doing okay with it. But he's just... Anyway, it was his birthday. So we went to see him, and there we go. He's my buddy. He's just I really like him. He's really a super guy. He looks like this now, but just to give you an idea. Hello.
Sorry.
He looks like this now.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so we went out for his birthday, and we all went to this little bar and just had some not cocktails. We had some appetizers and had a meal and stuff, and talked and carried on and all that fun stuff. It's not super important at this point for me to tell you this, but it's important for later on.
Okay.
He's gay. Okay. There's a reason I don't care that he's gay.
Right.
There's a reason that I'm telling you that, and I'll explain it later.
I mean, looking through those pictures of the movie, I would have guessed it. Not necessarily from that picture that you showed me what he looked like now.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at different pictures I would have guessed it, but
he's a great guy. I mean, if I was looking for a gay guy, he would be him.
Right.
Because he's such a sweetheart. He's such a oh, he's just such a nice guy. He's so nice I want to slap him. So, no, I shouldn't say it because I really do. I think he's a great guy. But okay, so all right, so we get done with our stuff. We try to get out of the bar, and the bar's packed so solidly. It was like sardines. I mean, seriously, I was squeezing to get out. I couldn't have gotten out if I was the big me.
Right.
I wouldn't have gotten out of there alive. And David goes, "Oh, I forgot my my debit card." I said, "Well, where's it at?" It's don't worry about it. It's way down on whatever street it was. I said, "We'll just drive you down." He's a New Yorker. You don't walk. You don't drive anywhere. People in New York don't drive. I'm glad they don't drive, but I mean, because there's a lot of cars on the road, even though they don't. They take cabs and walk everywhere.
Right.
Which, that's a whole other thing. Oh yeah, I got to make sure I tell you about that. But anyway, so I said, I'll take it. It's raining. It's really ugly out. So I go and drive it, and when we're driving, and it's just miserable. I mean, it's just rated and ugly, and I pull into the spot, and David goes in, and like seemed like an hour later he comes out, but it's really probably 15 minutes. And so we go to leave, and I see the cars coming, and it's one way and all that stuff, and I'm backing up, and when I'm backing up, I hit this.
Oh.
Now, it doesn't look like a lot of damage, but
no.
I thought, I got to do something about it. I can't just leave.
Right.
So I left the guy a note because no one came out.
Right, and it looks like he's parked over the line too, but you see that line?
Yeah, I didn't even see that before. Well, that's his car. Okay. And he told me I broke his car. I was going on and on and on about this. And anyway, so I left it.
Because right there's the line too.
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting because I didn't even notice that.
Sorry. I look for those things.
I'm glad you noticed that. But anyway, I hit his car, and I shouldn't have hit his car because I have his backup camera and everything. But it was raining. It was dark. It was like, I screwed up, and I hit his car. So I left him a note saying, "This is my number. Give me a call, and I'll just work out the stuff, and I'll, get you the stuff you need to know, and that's it. Because nobody was coming out. I thought, okay, well, we'll just. But anyway, so that seems like it should have been simple, and we don't care what they like. But there's my car.
Oh.
I fucked it up. I mean, it could have been worse.
Right.
But still, this plastic thing here, when I had to replace it on the other one, cost me $80 just for the plastic.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to have an insurance claim for this, and for him, unfortunately, because he didn't do anything technically wrong. But anyway, so saddens me because my baby got banged up. But anyway, so I get this picture. Okay, all right, this is so the next day I get up, and there's a message from him about get a hold of him and stuff, and I thought, well, get a hold of him when I can. And what's he saying? Hold on. I didn't see it. Wrong button. Oh, I know. Okay. All right. So anyway, then he starts blowing my phone up. I mean, blowing my phone up constantly. I said in my thing, look, I'm in a conference. I can't leave. There's nothing I can do. And he was like adamant that this is Saturday. Okay. He was adamant that it had to be done right then. I had to leave and go and do it and meet with him right then. And I said, no.
You're in a business.
I said, I'll get a hold of you. I said, I can get together with you tomorrow after 6, because that's when I was done.
Right.
And he was, no. And just constantly, he was like all the stuff he wrote on my text. He was texting me constantly, and it was to the point where, and then he would try to call me, and then he would text me and call me. It was like, all right, that, put it in my back pocket. I'm not going to answer anymore. And he was threatening me. He was, because he was going to call the police and tell them that it was a hit and run. I said, it's not a hit and run.
No.
He was saying I was drunk. I don't drink. He was saying I was drugging. I don't drink. I don't drink.
Yeah.
He was saying I was drugged. I'm not. I said, look, I got 3 other people in the car with me at the time that will tell you I wasn't drunk.
Right.
He said there was nobody in that car except you. And then I was like, oh, geez. And then he was going on and on. You broke my car. You want, like, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to make it right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, really.
He just was going on. I don't know how old he is. I don't know his name. I don't know his number. I know his number. I don't know his name. I don't know his insurance information. I don't know any of that stuff. He knows mine. I don't know any of his. And then he was threatening to call the police. And I'm like, I left you a note. It's not hit and run.
Right.
And because I wouldn't jump when he said jump, he was having a fit. And so I just put him on mute. I didn't care. There was nothing I could do about it that particular second. I wasn't going to leave my conference for something that's not going to finish anyway any day.
Right.
So so now we can pick up.
Now let me ask you this.
Yes.
When you were available after 6 o'clock the next day or whatever, did you try and get a hold of him?
No. And the reason why is he kept harassing me to the point that I didn't want to. Now, I had talked to a cop that night.
Okay.
I said, what should I do?
Uh-huh.
I mean, and he said, I said, look, this guy's harassing me. He's really I know I did wrong, but I didn't hit and run. I gave him my information. He said, well, did you give him your insurance? I said, yes. I said, I gave him my license and insurance. I said, well, you're okay then. I said, well, he said he's going to call the police, and he said, it's not a police matter. It's a civil matter. Because nobody got hurt. So,
okay then.
So the next day I didn't go to as he wanted. I didn't show up, and he got mad at me and wrote me again. And I finally answered him. I said, look, I gave you the information you need. I don't have any of your information.
Right.
So I'm going to do this when I get back to Pennsylvania, and that'll be Wednesday. And I'm going to call my insurance, but I can't do much because I don't have any of your information.
Right.
But I'm going to report mine, and I'm just going to tell him that I also hit a car, and here's the information I do have.
Here's his phone number.
Yeah, and let it go at that.
Yeah.
And that wasn't good enough for him, but so what? I don't care. I also told him that I talked to the police already. So I don't care if he calls the police or not. I'm in another state now.
Yeah.
And it's a civil thing, so there's nothing he can do about it.
Exactly.
If someone had been hurt, or if there was any, but I have witnesses. That, that's the other thing. He said, you hit my car, and then he said, there was nobody in your car. It was just you, and you were drunk and on drugs. And I'm like, whatever. That's when I put it on. I could care less because at that point he's not being rational. He's being an idiot. He might be a teenager for all I know.
Yeah.
But he also might be a serial killer, and I may end up going there, and he may end up killing me for banging up his car. I didn't know how he was. If he was going to be a cool guy, I would have met with him. But he wasn't being cool. So, I did what I could, and I didn't like hitting his car. I mean, my car is worth a whole lot of money than that car.
Right.
I got the worst part of that whole thing.
The whole car incident just makes me laugh because it was like what happened at work. There was this older lady that she was pulling in, hit one of my coworkers' cars, while another one of my coworkers had forgotten her hat out in their car. She went out to get it. She thought the lady was watching her because she was close to my other coworker's car, so she was kind of watching her. Like I said, she hit my other coworker's car, backed up, pulled in, and like my other coworker came in and told me, and when she got out, she looked at it and came in, did her order at the kiosk, so didn't even come up to anybody, sat down with her friend, was eating, like...
It never happened.
Like, it never even happened. She wasn't going to say anything. She was just going to leave.
See, I didn't do that.
And so, when my coworker told me what car it was, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm sitting there, okay, we were trying to figure out whose car it was. finally, I go back to the coworkers whose car it was. I said, "Did you drive here?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "What car did you have?" And she told me. And I said, "Well, come out with me." I knew how to explain what car it was. I just needed to make sure it was, because I'm not very keen on what cars are what.
Right.
I said, "See this car here?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Not that one, but the one next to it. Is this your car?" She goes, "With the white thing in the mirror."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, I said, "Is that yours?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh." I said, "I hate to tell you, somebody hit your car." She goes, "What?" And she out the door, I out there with her. And I mean, her car was black, so you could see the scrapes. Go up to the lady's car, you could see the black scrapes. So we showed her the lady. Then my manager and her went over to the lady and said, "Did you hit her car?" The lady goes, "No." Lied straight to her face.
People are like that. I try not to do. I try to be honest with people. After I said about the him saying after he said that I was in the car alone, then he comes back and he says, "And your boyfriend got out of the car and he came back and he kicked my bumper." My boyfriend. Well, the boyfriend would have been David if I had a boyfriend. And I don't remember David. David said he did get out of the car, but he didn't kick the guy's car.
No.
And so I thought that was funny because, and Marcia and Tina were both with us, and he apparently didn't see any of us except me and my invisible boyfriend who kicked his car. So the thing is that it just got ridiculous with him. But anyway, so let's move on to the
long story short. My coworker said, "Just bring me $100 the next day." I didn't work the next day, but I did go to my coworker. I said, "Did the lady bring you the money?" She goes, "Yes, she brought me the money." Because they didn't. She got her insurance information, and she wasn't. My friend was actually being very reasonable that day, and was like, "I won't call the cops, nothing. Just bring me $100."
Well,
it was
really
just
nice.
scrapes.
That's
Yeah.
nice. I don't know if I would do that because people, you can't trust people. I was going to pay it. I wanted to pay for that with cash because I didn't want it to go on my insurance.
Right.
But I wouldn't do that now because I know that if I give him cash, I don't know that he would. I don't know that he wouldn't come back at me again.
Right.
Because he had camera footage and everything. He sent me footage of it. The camera. There's cameras everywhere.
Right.
But it's not it doesn't say anything different than what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nobody kicking his car because that's not. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Why would I kick his car when I did the damage?
Right.
So anyway, so that's the end of that story as far as I'm concerned. I'm putting it to rest tomorrow, hopefully, when I get to the insurance company. It just sucks because I didn't really want to do that. But my insurance bill came in today, so I got to renew my insurance with somebody.
Fun.
All right. I told you, I didn't say it to you. I said it to you before the show.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work with somebody at Stellar Adler.
Mm-hmm.
That's the somebody.
Okay.
And he's a really great teacher. Now, I'm going to tell you a story here that's really funny. It includes me.
Mm-hmm.
It includes David.
Never mind. I was going to make a comment, but I won't.
It includes Marcia. It includes Tina.
Okay.
We all got the same script.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he just handed these scripts out, and he said, "Here's what you got to do. I want you to memorize. Somebody's going to be actor one, somebody's going to be actor two. I want you guys to memorize it, and we're going to do the script."
Okay.
I thought, okay. There's a one-page script. I was kind of concerned about having that little time to do it, but we had like 15 minutes to do it. And I did pretty good. I didn't remember it all at the time because of what I did, which I'll tell you later. But I'll tell you, I'm going to go over the script first.
Okay.
So you know what it's going to say.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you what I did.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you what David and Tina did and what Marcia and her partner did. So the script was, it's a park. You're at a park. And one guy is sitting, probably, and the other guy is walking up, and he walks up and he says, "Hi." The other guy says, "Hi." Then the first guy says, "Do you mind if I," you fill in the blank. You don't know what it's going to be. Could be anything.
Okay.
And the other guy has to say, "No, I don't mind."
Okay.
And then the guy says, thank you. And he's sitting there, or his next line is, nice day. And the number two guy goes, yeah, it is. And the guy goes, are you alone here? And then the two guy goes, yes. And the one guy goes, may I ask you a question? And the two guy goes, sure. And the one guy goes, what's your name? And two guys says his name, and then the one guy says, my name is, and then he says, pardon me, thank you, or something like that. And then they're sitting there, and then the number two guy goes, is that all? And number one guy goes, huh? Is that what you wanted to know? And he goes, yeah, I guess so. And then the other guy goes, okay, well, I gotta go now. And that's it. Okay, simple scene, right? Anybody could do that scene. Now, the obvious thing is, the first guy would say, would you mind if I sit down? Right? You know me well enough to know that I'm not.
You didn't do that.
So I went up to him, and I said, how far can I push the envelope? He said, do it. I said, really? I said, yeah. So, this is my scene. I'm guy number one. You're already cracking up. I didn't say anything.
Because I know you.
What do you think I did? First
I have no idea, but I know you, and you asked how far can I push the envelope, so I know it's got to be something funny and hilarious.
I was in a rare mood, and I probably went a lot further than you think I would go.
That's why I'm laughing.
Here it goes. Hi.
Hi.
Do you mind if I take a leak? Seriously. It's not everybody. What you say?
Sure. No.
She's already done.
I probably would have been there and been like, what?
That's what I expected. So I got behind the bench. I faced away from the audience and away from him. You could see me. I was like, I don't think if I stand. Wait, can you see me? If I stand, so I'm. Let's see if I can do this. I'm like pulling my zipper down. No one can see me, but
right.
I'm like going back and forth, and I'm like, nice day. He says, yes, it is. You're already done. That probably was enough to finish it off. All right, then. So I say, nice day. He says, yes, it is. And I say, I come and I sit down a seat away from him. And I said, are you alone?
Yes.
Then I moved one seat down, and I put my arm around him. And then I said, can I ask you a question? And he says, yes. And I say, what's your name? He says his name. And I said, I'm Classy Mike Trash. And then he's kind of like moving away. And he says, is that it? And I said, what? Is that it? He goes, and I say, yeah, I guess that's it. And he gets up real quick. He goes, well, I gotta go. And you know what? Okay, what's the first thing you think anybody said?
I have no idea.
They said, I can't believe you put your arm around him and you didn't wipe your hands.
I want to know what his reaction was.
It was, well, he knew what was coming because I told him ahead of time.
Okay.
You don't touch somebody without, permission. But it was a good time. The teacher was like, he liked it. He liked that I was gutsy and decided,
thought outside the box.
It's funny because when we were reading our scripts and stuff, when he went to have us go up, he goes, "Okay, you be number one and you be number two." He said, "Nope, I'm number one." He wouldn't, because my partner wouldn't have done that. He's just, he's very laid back and very straightforward and stuff. And so I just thought that was funny because I played that to the right to the wall.
But that's what they want you to do.
And that's what I think he liked, was that I didn't mind pushing the envelope. Marcia and she was with a chick, black chick that was, and the black chick comes up and says stuff to her, and Marcia was just typical, like she's reading a book and she's like, I don't want to be bothered, that kind of attitude. Right. And that went a totally different way because it was funny because she was like blowing her off, and the other woman was like, you could tell she was trying to get in the door, and I think she used mind if I sit down.
Right.
But Marcia's, she was like, I loved her attitude with it because she was like, it's like, what do you want now? That kind of attitude. And that was good. I really enjoyed that one too. David was the one sitting. Tina was the one walking. And she said, do you mind if I play with your boobs? He was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, you taught me with that.
No, because you did that. That's probably where it came from.
I don't care. I was like, oh. And then she really topped it because then she sat on his lap. I couldn't have gotten away with that.
No.
It was just funny. Oh, we definitely were the three top people there as far as I'm concerned. There were some other ones that were pretty good, but we definitely had the top three as far as I'm concerned, or at least the top five. Well, wait a minute, we're only six, so no, we definitely pushed the envelope. It was great. I enjoyed that. That was a good exercise, and that he told me that, or he said that exercise was not a first level exercise either. So, but it was just funny because all three of us were just, or all four of us were just laughing at each other for that stuff. So that was fun.
But I mean, that's what, when people give you exercise like that, that's what they want. Yeah. Like, they want you to think outside the box. They want to see what's going on in your mind, what you come up with, what you guys can come up with.
The only line that changed was that one line that led to everything else.
Right.
How one line can make a difference. It was great. I enjoyed that. I loved working with him. It was so fun. It was challenging, and it was because you had to learn it quickly, and then you had to like do that whatever you're going to do. And I was committed to it. I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do it, but I was thinking to myself, I'm not sure if I can push this off, but I'm going to, But it was just so nice because it was just the action.
And I think that's the other thing is they want you to see how well you think outside the box, but they want to know if you can think outside the box, can you commit to it too and stick with it?
Yep.
That shows a lot.
Really bad that time. So. That was out of necessity, not out of. No, it was fun. It was. I thought I would catch you off guard on that one, but like you said, you kind of expected something bizarre if I was involved in it.
Yeah.
But he's a good actor or a good teacher. I could learn a lot, and he's tall. Look how tall he is compared to me.
Yeah. It's hard to find somebody taller than you.
Well, in the old days, I used to be a tall guy, but now you got these kids that are popping up at like 6'9". I'm like, what's going on here? So, all right, let's see what the next one is. I don't even know what order we're in. Ah, guess who that is?
Who?
Keith Shockley, the Hall of Famer from Public Enemy.
Okay.
Now, there's a story behind him, too.
Okay.
We met him in Miami. I met him in Miami. He obviously knew them before, but we hit it off, and we actually got along pretty good. When we first got together, he didn't talk to me at all. He just was there with the girls. He didn't really care about me. And he noticed that I was flipping Tina the Bird. He goes, dude, what are you doing that for? And I don't know if he said dude or not. I don't know if he ever says dude. But he almost didn't talk to me at all that night until that. And I said, well, it's something we do, you know. And he was like, why? Why do you do that? Well, then Tina goes, Keith. And then we both did it to him. And he's like, okay, I'm in. So he started flipping us the bird. So now it's a thing, you know. It just, but that, Tina and I were doing it just because we're just obnoxious like that. But, yeah, there was something else I forgot. I forgot about this one. Earlier in the day, I don't know if it was with Bobby Finero, his class. Might have been with his class. They did an exercise where it was a woman and her husband or mate or whatever, could be a female, where the script was about the partner. I guess I'll say partner because it doesn't have to be male, female.
Right.
But the one had to be a female. But the one person would say, I don't want you doing it. Okay. And it was the same script for everybody. And it was about a woman getting a job as a cab driver.
Okay.
And the mate would say, I don't want you doing that because, you know, and she'd go, why? Because you're a woman. Well, so? Right. Well, I don't want you to get hurt. Well, I can defend myself, and I don't know the exact words because I wasn't in on the script. But it came down to being a thing between her and I. She would just we'd be walking down the street, and out of nowhere, and she'd go, why don't you want me to do it? Because you're a woman. And then we just do this bantering back and forth. Well, if you continue to do this, it's over. And I'd be like, so? Or, you know, we'd just be whatever. We'd be just improvising. And I'd be, just out of nowhere, she would start it or I would start it. And and you'd see the audience, or see the, when I say audience, you'd see the people around us like, what is going on here? And I told her next time we do it, we should do it like, do that thing where it's over. And then have the other one say, I love you. Oh, I love you too. You know, just turn the script around totally. Say, what? Wait a minute. Didn't you just break up? You know, just really freak them out. Because you know people listen to other people.
Right, yeah.
Especially if there's a conflict involved. But she would do that out of nowhere, and I'd be like, and then but we'd improv it, and it wouldn't always be the same. But I thought it would be fun to do it a little bit different. So, I don't know. It was just, but it helps your improv skills.
Oh, absolutely.
And it also makes you think on your feet.
Yep.
Because even if you're following the script, I wasn't in that class. I just heard parts of the script, and I got the gist of what it was about. So I could do that script, and I could do that script really convincing.
Right.
I could be angry man or not, you know, depending on how we wanted to approach it. But I could be the real dick. I could really, really make people think, well, of course, most of them do anyway, that I'm a dick. But it just was fun. You know, I saw it, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're going, okay, so that's what, okay. And I was thinking, boy, that's really, really wrong to tell someone that you can't get a job because you're a woman.
Right.
But it would be a fun job to play that role.
Right.
And to be the dick. Because that's like being the heel in wrestling.
Right.
So, anyway, the story about him is that I'm trying to bond with him. Because I don't know if you remember last time I went to Miami, I said I want to get him to do one of my projects.
Right.
So while he was DJing, I said, so Keith, got a question. Yeah. And we got along even better this time. I said, I got a TV show called Vital Idol. And I had a part for a guy named New Jack. And he died. He's dead. So he's not going to play that.
Right.
I said, what do you think of acting? Would you like to act? Would you do that? I said, yeah, man, I'd love to do that.
Oh,
I
awesome.
said, would you be interested? I said, yeah, man, that'd be cool. So I thought I'd push the envelope a little further.
Ah.
I said, well, I want to do that, but I have another project I have to do first because I got to get credibility. But here's the other project. I told him that it was about Marissa and Maggie and Tina and all living with this grumpy old man, me. And, you know, would you like to be in that? I said, sure.
Awesome.
Then I thought I'd push the envelope, because you know me. I got to push the envelope. I said, you know, did you listen to my CD? He said, yeah, I liked it. I said, good. I have material for 3 more albums. Would you like to produce it? I think I got to produce it.
Yay!
But the big thing is, with his name attached to any of those projects, I all of a sudden now I have a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, and it'll help elevate my script. Now, if I have him attached to the script and Bobby Pinero attached to the script, now I got 2 names attached to the script. I'm going to really try to push this thing now. I got 2 people that said they would be in it that are names that not everyone's used, and one is a Hall of Famer. The other guy is a Broadway actor and Sopranos and Irishman and all the other things he's done. I could elevate all of our careers if I get one hit on this. And Bobby Finero is a good director, so even if he does just direct it,
there you go.
and he's got the I sent him the script already.
Nice.
Because he said he wanted the script. So today, before the show, I dug out the script and I sent it to him, and he said, "Could you email this to me?" I said, "Sure." And he gave me his email address.
There you go.
Little by little, I'm carving my way in.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is going to happen. This next year is going to do something.
Right.
Either I'm going to be thrown in jail for hitting a guy's car, or killed because I hit a guy's car, or I'm going to make it in one of those fields. Or all of them. Because you see, the one leads to the other, which leads to the other. So this means...
Are you going to make it big and you're going to be you're going to get this guy, that guy hit my car.
Yeah, I want more. His gay lover went out and kicked my car. You should do something about
I got video proof they hit my car.
But he had nobody in the car at the time, but he had a gay lover who was in the car and kicked my car.
Yeah.
Jeez. These people just drive me... Anyway, he's a really cool guy. Now, I don't know if you know, like back in the 80s, well, you didn't know because you weren't around, but I was a DJ for KBL.
Okay.
KBL. That's very short because I hated it. I didn't want to talk on radio. Anyway, I did some DJing in my time when there was 2 turntables and a microphone. And that's it. You just changed records and you had vinyl, and this is before CDs. This is vinyl. Anyway, this system he has, this is freaking awesome. This thing here is programmable to do whatever he wants it to do.
Oh, nice.
And I was watching him play. I was watching the whole thing because it's a lot different from when I used to DJ. He has buttons up here that he'll be able to drop out the bass, drop out the drums, drop out the vocals, or whatever, whatever he wants to drop out. He pushes the button and it drops out, or pushes the button it drops in on these different songs and stuff. I was like, and then while he's on the fly, while he's playing stuff, he can actually, if he wants to play, he comes up with this stuff on the spot. He can decide to put a clip here, and he makes the clip while he's playing the song. He's listening to his earphones for the other turntable, and he's doing, when I say turntable, it's actually waves, or MP3s, but the turntable actually is how he moves the wave up and down and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And it's really cool stuff, and I was like, this is really awesome. And I actually learned a lot about DJing, the new DJing. I couldn't do it if I was dependent on it right now, but I learned how it works. and understand it a little bit more. I still don't understand it a lot more because there's a lot of buttons there.
Right.
It's really, and then he saves some of the stuff that he likes because he's doing it on the fly. It never sounds the same way twice. I was really impressed by this, and before I wouldn't even listen to this kind of music, but I'm now fascinated by it. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And this thing here, this is a custom template that he got put together for him. It's on the back of his notebook. It's LED lights, and it changes and does different really cool things. So that was kind of neat to watch, and I pretty much hung out with him all night. We were just, I danced a little. Everybody was dancing. Everybody was moving around. I mean, even my gay lover, the guy that I don't remember his name, that was on the park bench, he was dancing too. No, we weren't dancing. But I mean, we just had a good time. That was such a good party. It was so fun, and it was a chance to network and talk to people, and it was fun. So that was just I'll show you some. I think I have some pictures of stuff. That's me talking to him. Well, I'm not talking to him right there because I'm obviously.
It looks like you're being grumpy faced.
That's on the back of his. Yes, Mr. Grumpy Man. But I want you to know something. You've known me. I don't even know how long. You were probably what? You were probably 15, 16, 17, 18. You probably didn't know. You probably never saw me smile a whole lot.
No.
I smile a lot now. Because I got so much going on, and I feel good about myself. I've got friends, and I've got positive people in my life.
Right.
I've got a lot of ambition and nothing holding me back. I don't have a job holding me back, and I don't have to worry about getting up in the morning and working all day and stuff. And I mean, the sad thing, of course, is with Ken not being here, it's really messed with my head. And if you had asked me 5 years ago if I'd be doing any of this stuff, I would say, are you kidding me?
Right.
But I actually found my smile, and I'm finding things that I like to do. I like this acting thing a lot more than I thought I would.
Right.
Because when I had it in school, when I had it in college, I lasted 2 weeks.
Right.
And now I'm memorizing scripts on the fly and shooting self-tapes in my living room and stuff. It's just a different world right now. So anyway, Keith is a cool guy. So, there we are, standing next to Keith and his buttons I told you about. Those are the buttons I said that you could take out the different parts. And I don't know what I was looking at, but I must have been fascinated by it because it looked like I'm saying, huh? What is that? That's me smiling, saying, "Oh, that's how it works." And then there was that's one of the turntables. So, this is a clip. So let's see if we can hear it. I don't know what it may not come out very good because it's really loud. Although it says it's 1 second, so it may not be a clip.
Oops, I can't do that.
Yep, that's it. Then there's the setup. So you see all the buttons and stuff. Everything's programmable.
Oh, wow.
So he knows what it all does. But it was funny. I did figure some of the stuff out. There's a big green button. You see the big green button? Right next to it is lit up like a yellow button, which was actually red, but it just comes out. It looks like it's yellow. That's a bass drum sometimes.
Oh,
like
nice.
He does boom, 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 boom. He actually physically plays that.
Oh,
and
cool.
And he has those buttons programmed to do different things. So it may do a boom, 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 boom one time, but he'll hit one of those buttons and make it do something else.
Oh, cool.
It does a lot of things. All of a sudden, I'm like fascinated by this and thinking, that would be pretty cool to do if you know how to do it. So, and they want it. So the place that was having the party had a little Bluetooth speaker that was like, the size of this 6-pack. Okay, they wanted him to plug into that. And I said, no, don't insult him. I said, you got 2 giant speakers in the corner. Why don't you use those? If you offer him that, he's just going to laugh at you.
Right.
It's good they listened to me because we were using the good speakers, and I said, Keith, see that little speaker down there? They were going to have you plug into that. He just laughed. Yeah, give a Hall of Famer a little speaker like that, and as loud as he was, he would have blown that little speaker out.
Yep.
If it would have even, it probably would have smoked. We would have thought it had a smoke machine there, but it would have been the speaker. But it was funny. Then that's what he's looking at. So
nice.
He's got these are the songs. These are the categories of the songs.
Okay.
It says how many beats per second or beats per minute it is.
Oh, cool.
What key it's in.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to have 2 songs that are playing, say, just like a wild girl, her song, and then mix it with some rap song that's in the same key and the same beat. That's how they do that. They just
cool.
mix, they know what key it's in, they know how many beats per second, and they match up. Here is the waves that are coming up from each side. So this is the left turntable, and the one that was down here. And this is the right turntable, the one that's over here. And this also changes the key of some of the stuff. So it may be set in key of A8, but it'll change to whatever you want it to. So he chooses that, but he can hold with this. He can hold this wave back. Now this right here is the beginning of this new wave, and this is the line where it actually plays. So he would sync it up by bringing it to the right point, and then when the other one gets to that hump here, he would let it go, and they would both play at the same time, and you have that mix of that. So you have the mix plus the speed of the song being the same, the key of the song being the same. So it actually becomes a whole new song.
Wow.
And I was just amazed. I just sat back there for I don't know how long, stared at what he was doing, and wow, this is really cool. And then if he makes a really cool loop, out of this, he'll save that loop so he can use it later.
Right.
So if he finds, this is a really cool thing, he can save that for later, and next time he does it, it'll be a totally different set.
Nice.
It's just really cool and almost like a game. It's like Guitar Hero on a computer.
Right. Wow.
Or on, I guess that's probably what they do. They have a game out, or they did have a game out called DJ Hero. And that's probably what they were doing with DJ Hero, but probably this is much more advanced than that. But I thought that, I was really amazed by that. So I thought that would be of interest to other people too that don't know.
Right.
What is this?
I don't know.
I want to watch it? I'm afraid to think. I don't even know what it is. See, this uploads my stuff automatically to the cloud, so I don't know what we got. Now I'm not sure if I want to play it, but hey, I'll push the envelope. It's my show. Who am I going to find? Well, actually, it says 0, so I don't know if it is anything. But okay, I don't know why it's there. I don't even know what it is. Okay, so we know that that's nothing. We'll delete that. So there's nothing. Is that the, that wasn't the last one? Oh, because go back to P. Okay, there's that. And there's a notebook. So here, we're getting close to the end of the picture. So.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, this is not the party. So then the next day, well, look at what this is. 7 minutes. Oh, this, you may be interested in this. Okay. So this is the, I think this is the, this may be, I think this is we did a fashion show, fashion ball.
Okay.
These are only probably just, and I got a story about this, but I'm going to let this play. And there's a reason I'm going to let this play. But I'll be back while it's playing. This is a long clip. We're not going to watch the whole clip.
Okay.
But I think you'll find it interesting because of the way that they did it.
I had to fix the microphone. You ready? You ready? You ready?
Go ahead.
Do it. Do I have to?
Here we go.
Say that, DJ.
Y'all gotta understand, I got like 9 versions. I got to find the right version. I got you. See, this is the remix though that I got popping.
I don't do remixes.
But wait a minute.
I don't do remixes. I don't do remixes.
Yo, let me find the right one. So I've been rebuilding my record crates. So I gotta find the right one.
I don't do remixes.
I gotta get the right one. I think I might have found it. I think I found it. And it'll probably be the same version. That's it. Let's go to it. Let's go. Let's go.
I think that's it.
No, that's the same one. The last one. Yeah, I gotta like. So I brought my main drive with me because I knew y'all be asking for shit that I don't keep with me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to fast forward this because it is interesting to watch these guys that are professional walkers, or professional walkers, professional fashion guys. Maybe it's the next clip. Okay, looks like this is it. Okay, this is they're going to be walking.
Let me turn the mic down, turn the speakers up. You won't even think I'm an engineer. I got
Maybe it's the next clip. Okay. Let's try the next clip. Not him, the other guy, the little guy. So this is my fashion guy when I got there. So apparently they have a fashion guy for, well, an assistant to Ryan.
Okay.
So he helped pick out my clothes. And he's really short. So for a guy, he's really short. He's probably, how tall are you?
Like 5'2", 5'3".
He might be, he's probably around that. And he's real skinny. I mean, real skinny.
Right.
Anyway, he's a nice guy. Really, 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 really nice guy. Okay? And really, I mean, I thought he was a cool guy. Anyway, so he helped picked out my outfits. And I wore them all and everything was cool. And, didn't think much about it. And I thought he was a nice guy. I thanked him for everything. And he said, "Oh, no problem, no problem." And he hugged me, and that's it.
Right.
So I thought that was the end of the story. Not the end of the story. Never is the end of the story.
Of course it's not.
Tina says, "He really likes you." I said, "Yeah, he's a nice guy." No, she goes, "No, he really likes you." I said, "Yeah, he's a nice guy." "No, he really likes you." I said, "No. If I were gay, and I'm not. If I were gay, and I'm not. I'm saying that again. If I was gay, and I'm not. He's not my type. I want a guy that has a lot of meat on his bones. I don't want a skinny little guy that can break." He's a nice guy. He is really, I actually friended him on Instagram. I just want to keep track of where he's going, because he actually is a pretty good walker. He definitely, he knows what he's doing. He did it from a really young age. He walks I say walk, I don't think that's a word. He models. No, I don't know if it's that. I guess that's a word.
No.
Yeah, maybe that's a word.
Models. I mean, that technically walks because that's
yeah.
That, I mean, that's a runway. They
Yes.
walk on the runway. Yes, I know what you mean.
Well, let's use the word walks or walker.
Yeah.
He walks as a man
Uh-huh.
and as a woman.
Oh, okay.
Because of his shape.
Mhm.
I learned a little bit from him. He was pretty cool, and he knows what he's doing. Well, I mean, everybody knows more about fashion than me.
Mhm.
But he just I enjoyed talking to him. He was just and when he hugged me real hard. But I can't imagine. But like I said, if I was that way, I would probably want someone bigger. I just don't think that I could handle being like that much bigger than a person. I probably outweigh him by 4 times. He probably doesn't weigh by, well, not 4, but at least twice.
Right.
He probably is $125 if.
Oh, wow.
If, but he's a cool guy. I liked him. He was fun. Then we got, is it the other one? Oh, maybe that is the one. Is that the one that was the runway? No.
There's
That
this
one with the
picture.
runway. What happened to that? That's Alicia. She's the co-owner of the business. She's nice lady. Oh, this is the runway. Okay. We did the runway too, but unfortunately I was doing the runway, so I couldn't get me or
Right.
any of my friends because we were sitting in the same row and they did it by row.
Gotcha.
But it's kind of fun. It's fun to watch people. In the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
He got a modeling job kind of almost by accident. He got approached by somebody and said, why don't you do this? And he was going to school to be a whatever he was going to school to be. And he did the modeling thing and he thought, wow, I might be able to do this.
Right.
He got his degree and then he went into modeling. And
Interesting.
He's doing really well. And he's a really, really nice guy.
Mhm.
But I got my idea of how I walk from him.
It's your boyfriend.
90 shows, you start on the left and go down and then you go this way and you go off that way. There are shows that mix it up. I'm not a fan. I like things to stay the way they are. But I used to do when I would do shows and then try to play games, and I would just sit there and side-eye them. But I like things uniform. But then you just like, creative. It's like, I don't have time to breathe. But anyway, 90% of the shows are very standard. Walk, turn, cross. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, so there's photographers at the one end. So you walk up, you turn a couple times because there's a bunch of photographers snapping at you, and then you turn and walk the other way. So when I did it the first time a year ago, a year and a half ago, I did a Zoolander. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Zoolander, where the guys were pretending to be runway models and all that. It was a what's his name? I can't think of his name, but it was a comedy, and he would do things like that and point at him and just silly things like that. I did that when I did it last time, just because I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought, well, let's be funny about it.
Right.
But anyway, they didn't do anything to be funny. Anyway.
Count Chocula.
that. But he was in a different situation. He had a single parent, and he was living in the city, and boom, And it worked out for him. He was traveling all over the world at a young age to do that, and that's all he's ever done. And he worked for Vogue magazine, and
interesting,
and was in a bunch of Devil Wears Prada.
Okay.
He knows who the people are because that was written about,
okay.
and he was in that. He was
nice.
not in that but he was. There was a part about it.
There is a TV show, and it's had like 20-some seasons called America's Next Top Model. And
yeah, the one. He's not in here. I met one of the guys because he's with. One of the guys who's with that.
Yeah, but I've watched almost every season of that.
I'm trying to think what the guy's name is, but we actually talked to one of the guys from that.
Oh, cool.
And that guy's a really cool guy. He and his girlfriend or wife or whatever it is are both moms.
Okay.
And he was told he'd never be able to make it because what did he have? He had too much facial hair or something. And it never stopped him. He just kept going, and he just is doing it, and he makes money at it and does what he has to do. I think it's great when you can break the stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
Because I always tried to do that. With my music, I tried to do it. And now I just, with my acting, that's something I want to do is I want to be different from everybody else.
Right.
But, yeah. Let's see what's next. Oh, this is the other one. Okay, so you got to see at least part of it because you got to see Ryan do his spin at the end. Oh, 4 seconds. That's a waste of 4 seconds. Didn't do it. There was one. Oh, here it is. This one must be the one. This one's 1 minute. They ran through. Okay, this is the one where he took his coat off. This is the one that inspired me to do that.
Okay.
Hear the barber.
Yeah, everybody screamed when he did it.
Time. I'm telling you, I just had the most fun at this place, and it was just a lot. It was just, I don't know how to tell you how it just was so much fun. I think it was a lot of it was it's not in my nature for doing this. Okay, now this guy here is Gino Visconti.
Okay.
He's Gino Visconti. Now he's a comedian.
Okay.
He's an edgy comedian. He makes me cringe, okay? And it takes a lot to make me cringe. He does a lot of cutting-edge, almost racial jokes. And I'm sitting in a room with quite a few ethnicities in there. And he doesn't mind jabbing at them all. Makes me very uncomfortable because I don't know what, me being white, he's going to pick on me, but not for the same reasons.
Right.
And so I was like looking around the room. Are they laughing? Are they hating him? Because he was on a Zoom call, and there were people on there that were hating him.
Oh.
And they were mostly black people. And I was like, don't do it. Please don't do it to him. Please. And he picked on. He did go after him, but not. He was good. He actually made me laugh. Anyway, he picked on me too a couple times, and I was sitting at the other end, and I wasn't really doing anything to get picked on. But at the end, I got him back.
Oh.
So remember I was in a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of them was the horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was the animation.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was where I was a congressman, and one of them I was the guy selling vegetables at the Nazi place.
Right.
Okay, just keep that in mind. So he's doing all these really, really pushing the button and pushing as far as he can go, and I'm thinking, ooh. And he said a couple of things to me, and he was picking on my age and picking on stuff and constipation and stuff like that. And I okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
But at the end, he was saying, he was like, do we have anybody out there that is pro-Nazi Germany? And I went, he looked and he was like, this guy's actually raising his hand. And at the end, when he was done, he went out in the other room, and at the end of the thing, I kind of like was headed in that way, and he just put his hand up for me to high five him because he didn't expect me to he didn't expect anyone in the audience to say that. And then I explained to him that I was in a movie, and it's just funny because he actually turned out to be a pretty cool guy. He was saying, he said something like, I know you're not as old as me, so you won't understand this. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm like 55.
He got you beat.
Yeah. So he said, really? You're that old? He said, you don't look it. You hold together pretty well. So, but it was kind of cool. And and when we were done talking, I actually I forgave him for some of that stuff. But I mean, I don't mind pushing the envelope, but I'm not going to push in that direction.
Right.
In these days, you can be killed for that.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is in the guy that was in Clerks and Kevin Smith film.
Okay.
You know who Kevin Smith is?
No.
Look it up on IMDb because
I kind of can't.
Why?
Because my computer went out on me.
Uh-oh.
I unplugged and it went straight down, and now it won't connect to any internet right now.
Oh, no. What'd you do to it?
I don't know.
Well, shut it all the way down and start it all the way up.
It did kind of shut down.
No, I mean all the way to the point where it's off.
Okay.
Anyway, he's kind of neat because he's been in the bottom type movies on up.
Okay.
So Kevin Smith movies, little background, Kevin Smith is a guy from New Jersey who worked in a store. He worked in a convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this idea for a movie about guys working in a convenience store.
Okay.
So it's called Clerks. And it's modeled on his real job.
Interesting.
So he made this movie. And he also made this movie called Mallrats. All these low-budget films that he put together because he wanted to be in the movie industry.
Right.
He's now a really respected film director and writer. And he lives in California now. But he actually had a show called Comic Book Men about he owns this is for real. He owns a comic book store. And it would be like Pawn Stars.
Okay.
But with comic books.
Interesting.
And people go in there and buy these comic books, and they film the transaction and everything. It's just I liked it. It was cool. It was a cool show. And then at the end of the show, he would have like 5 people panel for a radio show that he would do about comic books.
Oh, interesting.
And superheroes and nerd stuff, kind of stuff I would like. But he's become a well-respected director. And anyway, he worked with him. So I talked to him about low-budget movies and stuff because I have some stuff. This is before I got to talk to Finero and I talked to Finero, but not at great length. And I just kind of wanted to get some ideas from him about the movie industry. And he actually was very helpful. He was a really nice guy. I liked him. That's another picture of him. This guy here, you probably don't know who he is, but you know of his work.
Okay.
He wrote for people like Rodney Dangerfield.
Okay.
He wrote for a lot of big comics and a lot of shows. And I think he wrote for Saturday Night Live, too.
Okay.
I think. Nice guy. He's a lot shorter than you would think he is.
Uh-huh.
How tall do you think? Compared to me. Okay, if I'm standing, where do you think he comes up on this?
I would say right below your shoulder. Wow.
He is short. I was like, I didn't think you were that short. Nice guy. Very smart.
You know who he kind of puts me in mind of?
Who's that?
Ray Lewis? Isn't that his name?
Oh, yeah. There is I don't know if it's Ray Lewis, but it is Lewis.
It's somebody Lewis.
Yeah, it might
he
be
just.
Ray.
I think he just passed away.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know.
No, maybe he didn't.
And we do have a RIP, but I'll save it for next week. Just because I don't think I didn't have time to make one for this week.
I'll tell you who it is.
Lewis, I know who you're talking
Jerry
about.
Lewis. Jerry Lewis.
Not Jerry Lewis.
Was it Jerry? No?
Jerry Lewis has been dead for a while. It is Lewis, though.
Richard Lewis?
Yes, Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does kind of look, but Richard Lewis is a lot taller
Yeah,
than him.
that's what it is, Richard Lewis, yeah.
But he's a really, really smart guy. He's got a book out. He said that he made he worked for a comedy club, and he went into this comedy club and said, "You have a lot of comedians here, on the wall, a lot of comedians. Can I do a book on your place?" And that's what he did. He did a book on the guy's comedy club because he had all these comedians that were really famous.
They're almost making the same face in this.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder if they're related. They might be. Hey, that happens occasionally.
I mean, take his glasses, his glasses off and look.
I'm trying to think of his name. His name was no, his name isn't Lewis though. I can't think of his name. But he's pretty cool. He's a decent guy too. Then we got him again. Then we got this guy here is really interesting too. He is another guy that wanted to make films really bad, and not bad films, but he wanted to make films bad. He would learn the hard way to make films. He would actually go in there and spend his money and make a film, and anyway, his last film did really well, and actually he's been making. He's got investors now that he can make a decent film at a decent price. I had a fun time talking to him too. He's a casting director too, and I asked him some good questions. Then we got me with his name is it's funny because I thought of their names earlier and I thought I should put their names down because I'm not going to remember them. And what did I do? I forgot their names. But a real nice guy. My hair's out of control. There's me. See? Oh, he is taller than I said. I lied. But he's still shorter. He's real.
I was right about your shoulder.
You're right. Well, I'm because if I stood up, he would be right at my shoulder. But I didn't want him to feel like a midget.
Right.
But he's a nice guy. This guy here has a magazine called Cool Magazine.
Okay.
And so it's funny to think in this day and age that anybody's still doing magazines. But his is online magazine.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Cool Magazine, and they do stories, picture stories of different things. So I know Martha had an idea for. Martha, I think I talked to him about a storyboard that she put together with things she was working on. There's that model again.
Oh, cool.
Don't we look alike?
Totally.
Yeah. He's only half my age, probably. He's a really good guy. We had a good conversation. I saw him a lot, but I didn't ever meet him. I saw him, and he never met me. I saw him on Zoom when he would come on and talk about modeling. And he never met me, and I kept saying, "Don't I know you? You look familiar." And the reason I know him because he was on that. This is the crew. Marcia, Cynthia, Tina, come on, play along.
That's
David?
David, yeah.
And, I don't know, some stooge.
Yeah.
Hey, I look taller than David.
Some guy who hits other cars.
Yeah, I heard. Troublemaker. But yeah, that was, where were we back here? I'm trying to think if he went with us. We went to...
There you go. It worked. Now I'm back.
Good, there you go. I don't remember what that picture's from. But this was the girl that did all our driving, so
right.
She's a girl from New Jersey. This is my shirt. Either one of those would work.
It was a lady that came in yesterday with a sweatshirt, and it says IDC, like I don't care something, and then I don't F and give a F or something. And she said she makes it, so she had it here on her, like on her shirt, but it also was on her on her sleeve too. And me and my friend Heather looked at each other. We're like, "Oh my God, we love your sweatshirt." We're like, "Where did you get it?" She goes, "Actually, I made it." We're like, "What?" We're like, "Nuh-uh." She goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "That is awesome." I said, "Would you ever think about making it and selling it?" And she goes, "Yeah, well, yeah, I would." I said, "Well, okay, do you have a price in mind?" She goes, "Yeah, about $25." I said, "Great." And she's like, she gave us her phone number. She wrote down her phone number for us, and I'm gonna get a hold of her on Friday once I get paid. And
I think over there, things you put on your inkjet printer to print T-shirts.
Oh,
you take your inkjet ink, and it prints on this special paper, and it prints it in reverse, and you put it on and iron it on.
Right. Yeah.
It's really cool. I don't know if it's any good anymore because it's been sitting there for 20 years.
But and I was like, okay. So I went home and told Antoine about it, and he's like, well, why wait till Friday? And he told me to get the money. We're going to get the money out of the bank, and we went grocery shopping last night, so we totally forgot about it. But like I said, Friday when I get paid, I'm going to get the money out, and I'm going to tell her, hey, maybe stop by on Saturday between this time. I'll be at work. I'll get you your money, and you can make me my shirt.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for nice. I'll wear it in here on Tuesday.
It fits. Yeah, I thought about either one of those two would be good. Yeah, that's the basics of the trip that I took.
Right.
On the last day, we went out to. What did we do the last day? Oh, the last day, Marcia and Tina had an appointment with a private photographer who was the same photographer that we used, but with the company that we were with. But she also got him privately and went out to the Brooklyn Bridge and they took pictures on the Brooklyn Bridge. So I drove them there and then drove my car up the street so that they could get their pictures. They wanted me to come along. I said, no, I'm just going to park the car.
Right.
And so they did that, and so it was kind of funny. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Rich got his retail license for the guitars.
Oh, nice.
And we were talking further about the Mike Trash guitar and stuff, and the premium Mike Trash guitar and the not so premium one.
Ooh.
So. Yeah, we were talking about that. I am excited about that, too. I think it'll be really neat to see that stuff fly, especially if people start liking it and start buying it because it's so different. So I'm really excited about that. All right, so then, so after we did that, we went to this market. They have a place called the Meatpacking District.
Okay.
And actually, David lives near the Meatpacking District, ironically, and it's weird that it's called that. I guess it's because they used to pack meat there.
Right.
But it's really now just a glorified mall.
Mhm.
And it's really a neat mall because it's a lot different from anything we got around here. Anyway, we ate at the meat market, and we just were talking and laughing and everything, and found out David's is possibly moving to California,
Mhm.
at least for dual residence, so we can work in California as an. But I said, can I have your address
Right.
to use for me too? And he said, yeah. So that's nice that he's willing to let me use his address, and I could use his place too if I needed to go out there and stay, so I
Right.
don't have to rent a place. I mean, I could rent. I don't mind paying him, but it's really cool to know that I now have a residence
Right.
out there, because that's where I need to be to make these films. Well, not to make these films, but to actually get in some real films. And I need to get my SAG card, but there's no reason to get a SAG card if I can't have a place to stay out there.
Right.
Or if I want to work in New York. Given the choice between New York and LA, I would rather work in LA
Mhm.
because it's a lot easier to get around. It's a mess in LA, but New York is a mess times 10 compared to that. I hate New York. I didn't mind driving in LA. I hate driving in New York. I just absolutely hate it. It's such a nightmare trying to get around and trying to, like, everybody's. It's funny, you get stuck in the, like, when you get stuck in the traffic, say the tunnel, you have to go through one of the tunnels. Let's say you're on this side of the tunnel going in, and traffic stops. They're beeping. We don't know why it stopped. You can't see what your beep's going to do. Yep. I hate that. And everybody runs in front of each other. Worst thing is, a lot of people drive mopeds and little cars and little things like that. They're zooming in and around. You could hit them easily without trying. They are crazy because I don't even see license plates on those things.
There was today, so I was leaving work, and we went and got Arby's for dinner. And there's this little side street to come out onto Trindle Road. And sometimes that light is backed up. So to get into the turning lane, we sit there and wait because till the turning lane clears. Well, there was a whole couple of cars back behind me. Somebody beeped their horn while we were sitting there waiting. That's like, what can we do? We can't move. We're trying to get over in the turning lane. And I've had people do that all the time when I'm sitting there waiting, beep at me. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm waiting to get in the turning lane. I need to clear over in that lane. And I can't make, like, because either there's cars there, so I'm not going to butt in front of somebody, for one thing. Second off, I'm not going to start out here and stop to hold up other traffic and possibly get hit. I'm sorry. No, I'm not doing it.
Right.
So when the cars clear up and then I can go, then I go. I had a guy behind me the other day in a Jeep yelling at me. Like, he rolled down his window and was literally yelling at me out his window and beeping at me to move, to go. And I just sat there waiting until they cleared, and then I went. And then, of course, then when he went, because he just took off and went.
I don't get it. I don't think I've used my horn for anything ever. And if I did, it was by accident. Like with this new car, I keep hitting the button by accident. But I don't use my horn. I don't see the point because it's not going to make a difference as to whether somebody does something.
Right.
Hi. How you doing?
The only time I really use my horn, because mine are buttons on the side, is like if I if I hit it on accident, or if I'm coming in the road and somebody's like coming over and almost going to hit me, then I kind of hit my brakes and, hey, hey, I'm here. But other than that, I don't.
Oh, man. It's kind of funny. Let's see here. What else has happened? When I tried to leave when I dropped Marcia and Tina off at the airport, I tried to leave the airport. The Newark airport is a nightmare.
Oh, I can only
It's
imagine.
so big, and like I kept going around, and I kept ended up back in this. I'm like, what am I doing back on Terminal A? I was trying to go home, and I zoomed around it twice, and then I finally found a charge station because I needed a charge station anyway before I made my journey home. And the charge station was like on the other side of the airport, so I had to go through the airport again. and they actually, it was like there were probably 20 stalls of charging of just Tesla, and then there were another probably 10 or 15 of another company. And like I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot. And there was, of course, it was like 5 in the morning, so there wasn't anybody there except a handful of us.
Right.
But yeah, that was fun. And then and I had to stop and get air because it was so cold the past couple days. The temperature in the air pressure in my tires was lower than it should have been. What? You want another one? You want another one? And this one here, I get home and she just is ballistic. She missed me so much. I couldn't believe. I've never seen a dog miss me so much. This dog is attached to me. And she just. And I'd lay down, and she'd like lay on top of me, and she's a heavy dog.
You're not going anywhere.
No, she was laying there, and she just was so happy. That dog cracked me up because I knew that she was happy to see me, and that's the thing about dogs. They just want to be with you. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about anything about your car got hit. They don't care about anything. They just want to be with you.
They're there for you. Yep.
And they are just the greatest things in the world. They make me happy. I don't think there's anything that's ever made me as happy as my dog.
I had a guy come in today. He goes, I'm traveling. I'm kind of just passing through. He goes, and I saw on my map that there was a charging station by. He's like, can you tell me where I was at? He said, I only stopped over here because I was hungry. And I said, okay. I said, yeah.
Now, wait a minute. Where are you at? You're in Camp
Panera.
Hill.
In Camp Hill, yeah.
Okay, let me think about that, see if I know where it's at. There's one in Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in York.
No, his charging station, the map brought him to that area, to Panera. There was one.
Panera?
Mm-hmm.
Is there one there?
Not necessarily at Panera. It's over in the giant parking lot.
Oh, they got the not Tesla one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they do have those things. Those are.
I think he said he had a Chevy or something.
Yeah, the Bolt are probably those are they're good if you need an emergency.
Yeah.
But Tesla opened their charging stations up for everybody. And you'll get a lot faster charging. It'll probably cost you more, but it's the difference between charging in 15 minutes and charging in an hour.
Right. Well, I said, I said, you have an electric car. And he goes, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, over at the giant parking lot, there's the first stall there's I think one on this side and one on the other side or along somewhere. I said, so if the one on this side's taking, try the other side.
Yeah.
I said, there's 2 stations.
I'm going to tell you something that you don't know, but you would think, oh yeah, that makes sense about that. So if you have, let's say Tesla. Let's just use that one because that's an example, but it applies to this one too.
Mm-hmm.
For Tesla, every other charging station starts a new circuit.
Okay.
So if you take 1A and 1B, they're on the same circuit. That means you're getting half the power.
Right.
So if you, let's say, get 100 kilowatts per hour, you're only getting 50 kilowatts per hour and 50 kilowatts per hour. But if you get 1, 2, 3, if you use 1 and 3, you get 100 kilowatts per.
Yeah.
But that also depends on where you're at on your
Well,
charge.
I think these things,
they're going to be the same.
they only have one thing. They don't.
Oh, they only.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
so
even
you park
station
into
down.
that stall, and there's just one little thing.
Oh, you can't share it?
No.
Oh, that's horrible. Well, the thing about them, like I said, is they don't have the technology to be the speed that Tesla does. And that's why Tesla has become the official
I think it's also designed to say while you're grocery shopping, you can have your car charging. But
the only problem with that is that because it is so slow. That's the only thing it's really good for. But if you want to go in and get a quick charge for them, you're not going to really, because you'll be
right.
Like, oh, geez, it's only going up a little bit. And depending what kind of car it is and what year it is, it can only go so fast. Anyway, like if I had a Tesla from 2015, I'm going to be waiting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm in a Tesla's best charger or not. It's only going to go so far.
Right.
And that's good because it keeps it from overcharging.
Right, and that's what I told him. I said that's the charging station. I said it's just a parking spot. I said it's nothing. I said it's nothing, big fancy. So I said I don't know how fast you need a charge or how long you're willing to wait to get your charge. I said, but.
And a lot of those are actually free.
Right.
And then there's the Blink network, which is, it'll get you a charge, but it won't take, it'll take you forever. And the other one was, I forget who it is, but I'm signed up for those different ones, and I haven't used any other ones other than.
He's like, I think it'll do for now. I said, okay, just I'm just saying, I'm not sure if you're picky or not.
I love my new car so much because I charged when I got there, and we drove around, and we went to different places. We went to all kind of places, and never had to charge again until I was able to go home. And then the only reason I had to charge is I was down to 100 miles yet. I had 100 miles left, and that would have gotten me not quite home because it was 162 to get home.
Oh.
So the new one's a lot better, and it charges a lot faster too. But I'm really looking forward to the next trip wherever I'm going to be. I think the next trip is, it depends if I have to go to Ireland or not. I'm not going to be taking the car out.
The other nice thing that happened today, I had an order gentleman. He placed his order, and when he was done, he scooted off to the side a little bit. He's like, oh, yeah, by the way, he goes, and he said it lower, he goes, I'm going to give you a 20 towards the people behind me's order. Aww. He goes, I don't know them. Tell them Merry Christmas. I said, okay. So he pulls out the 20, says, here you go. I said, okay. I set it right there in front of my register. So, just like Andy Nor, hi, how can I help you? Can I take your order? I did it. I said, okay. I said, oh. And before you guys, because they pulled out their card, I said, but before you guys pay, I said, the person in front of you paid $20 towards your order. So here, let me put that in. And here they only had to pay $10.15 for their order. She goes, oh. The lady goes, oh, no. And I said, yes, that's what he did. She goes, I wondered how they always did that. She goes, I know of people doing it in drive-thrus, but I never knew about doing it in person. I said, she goes, but that's how you can do it. I said, yeah. I said, that's all he did was, she goes, oh, yeah, I thought he was just giving you a tip. I said, no, he said he was putting it towards, she looks up and waves, says thank you to him, but she goes, now I know what to do for next time. So, I mean.
You should have given you the tip. I mean, really, seriously. What would it hurt to do that? I mean, you need it more than she does. Jeez. I'm checking to see I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. I covered the majority of the stuff. But
hi, Jen.
This little thing. Oh, is she there?
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Yeah, Mr. Jen. Trying to think what else there was that we were doing. Because we had, we went to Hard Rock.
Okay.
Oh, that was one thing we did. I was so tired that day. when we were at Hard Rock. Okay, so what happened was the place I'm working with, they put out a book called Finding Fame. Okay. And it's a #1 seller. Mm-hmm. So they had a billboard in Times Square. Oh. Well, we went to Hard Rock to eat, and that's in Times Square. Mm-hmm. And we all sat there and we got our food and stuff, and they looked at the watch and they said, "Oh shoot, we got to get going," because I had 2 bites of my freaking ribs, and that was it. We got to go because the Times Square thing, and how are we going to get there in time? I said, "Look, I'll just put it on my card. You guys go up." Well, you going to meet us? No, I'm going to meet you at the car. I was at the point where my back hurt so bad I had my brace on and everything.
Right.
It just was so much. Oh, that's one story I meant. So much walking and so much stuff. I don't know how those New Yorkers do it. I can't. I've never lived without a car.
Right.
So all my life, I've always driven. And these people walk everywhere, or they Uber, or they, some of them drive. And there's enough cars on the road. There certainly seems like everybody's driving, but that's not the case. Anyway, what was I going to do? Oh, so I got everybody's stuff, put it all on my American Express, and as I'm walking back, I'm thinking, man, I am so tired. I just wanna die here. And I get there, and I'm back at the car. Of course, I can't get in the car because I don't know if it's not my car. It's Cynthia's car. I keep calling her Cindy. Cynthia's car. I don't know her that well. She's someone I met a couple times, but the girls knew her better than I did. And now I like her too. Not that I didn't like her, but now I feel like I'm a friend of hers. And basically, I'm standing there, and it's raining. It's cold, and I'm standing there, and my back hurts. I'm leaning up against the wall, trying to get back comfortable and stuff. So they come back, and I said, let's go. Go, crammed in the car and left. And, didn't you want to see the? No. Just, it's kind of like selfies, okay? Like whenever the new people join the company, or at least the new people that want to check out the company, they go and they see these different people, and they want to take pictures and selfies and everything.
Right.
And it's like, I don't really do that. I mean, there's a couple I have here. Robert Finero, I needed to get his because he's been really good to me. I want to talk about it. He's for my story. I mean, I'm doing this story, so there's pictures of me with people. But other than that, I don't really need a picture of me and some guy that it's an actor too. I don't even know who he is.
Right.
And like, this is going to sound egotistical, and I don't mean it to be. What, you're fat and sassy? You are not fat, and you're not. Well, you are sassy. You're not fat. You're not fat and sassy. You're sassy. How about sassy and sexy? How about that? That's you. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I take pictures of a few key people that I want.
Right.
But some of these people are taking pictures of everybody. And they are putting me in this category of a star. They're like, oh, I saw your movie. And it's not really my movie. I was in the movie. Well, that was my movie because I was in Winder. And some people said they saw Winder and it scared the living daylights out of them. But these people, like, when I did the catwalk, when I did the walk down the runway, that's the word. I don't even know the technical term. Like everybody was popping, like, oh, it's a star. Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm fat or what it is, but they're like, and they did it to me last time I did it too. They like, when everybody, they boom, 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 and then they're like, yeah, like. The first time they did it, I thought just because I kind of made a joke out of it. Second time I did it, I just kind of did it kind of legit, and everyone went crazy when it was me walking. Why am I different from like if you walk down it? What? I don't know.
Did they clap for anybody else or?
Ryan got a bigger pop than me.
Okay.
And I would say I got the second biggest pop.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know why. Then the last time I did it, I got the biggest pop. And I don't understand why. Other than they knew I didn't want to do it. Then I didn't care if I did it now because I did it once. I know what it's like now, and it's kind of fun. but these guys, like some of these guys, will never see it again. They just did it one time. They're never going to come back again. So they did it to get pictures of stars.
Right.
I don't consider myself a star. I consider myself a wannabe star. I really see a lot of things happening in the next. You need another
desk chair, Michael.
Why? It's my desk chair. What's wrong with desk chair? Do you have a desk chair you want to give me? Or something? A gift of a desk? Am I going to get for Christmas, you're going to put a big bow around it and give me this desk chair? If that's the case, I'll take it. I don't know. Anyway, so, you know, it's kind of funny because I guess I see things in a different light than a lot of people, because I guess if I was a guy, oh, this is going to sound really bad. If I was not in the music business, okay, there we go. If I was not in the music business for 40 years and this was the first thing I ever did, I guess maybe I would feel like that. In wrestling, they call it a mark.
Right.
Someone who marks out for everybody. And I don't think that I mark out for too many people. Like Finero, I respect him a lot because I want to do what he's done. I want to be where he is. And he's not like a Marlon Brando. He's like, he's a mid-range guy. He's not the top. And there aren't too many people at the top. I mean, when you think about it, when you think of the word Hollywood, you think there's a bunch of these guys making all kinds of money. But the reality is not. There are maybe 5% of the 160,000 people of the 160,000 people that are actually making a lot of money, like The Rock and stuff. Those people are still out there. But the 95% that are out there, besides The Rock, have second jobs.
Right.
So when you look at it, it's like, wow, that's Cindy. Not Cindy. I keep wanting to say Cindy.
Cynthia.
Sind. Or Sid. Oh, what am I saying? I can't even say her name. I'm sorry, Sid. Sid. I'm sorry. Sorry. Forgive me. Sid. She is a wonderful woman. I love Sid. She's a beautiful woman. She's like me. She started after she retired.
Interesting.
And she's doing really well. And I love her. She would never say anything bad about anyone. Even if you went to her face and pissed her off. Have a wonderful day. I mean, she's just she's the nicest person in the world. I wish that I could be that nice, but I used to be that nice back in the old days. Right. But I just got jaded. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So 95% of the people in the entertainment industry are not really wealthy. They're just working people. And like if you, okay, let's assume for a second that I was one of those hello. You want to be with me, don't you? Anyway, like for instance, let's say a normal person would not have done 4 films in a year. They wouldn't. There are too many people looking for those jobs. They would probably have, one series if they have a series, and they might work on 1 film or maybe 2 films. The Rock does multiple films, but and sometimes you see The Rock coming out with 3 films in a year. He didn't do all those films in a year. They just happen to be coming out in a year. But if you're thinking about the entertainment industry, you think about starving, really. I mean, unless you're in one of the better positions, you're not going to be making your living off of the movies unless you get lucky and get into one of the top spots. Like somebody like me, where I had 2 lines in that 1 film, I probably have multiple jobs to keep that sustained so that I can have the privilege of being in that business. Right. Is that something important? You have a weird smile on your face, so or a grin or whatever it is. Someone send you a dick pic or what?
No. Would you like to see what it was?
No, I
will gladly share it.
I just didn't. The look on your face, I didn't understand what was going on. You don't have to say it.
Take a wild guess.
All right, let's go with this. Oh, can I see what they see on here? 5 what?
Winter coat.
Oh, wow. World peace. Oh, the cat's longing. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I mean, it's really it's all curtains. I mean, when you think about it, we all want to think that even the cash register person at that movie is making a lot of money, but he's not. That person's not making a lot of money. There are only the stars that are really making the real money.
Right.
That we're talking about, that are sustaining. Because even the people that we talked to that were writers, that's one of the reasons for the writer's strike. Because some of the people that write for these regular TV shows have other jobs. And you would think, well, wait a minute, aren't they writing for X, Y, and Z show? That's a big show, right? Yeah. And the problem is they weren't making the kind of money. That's why there was a strike, because those people had to work multiple jobs just to be in the business.
Yep.
I couldn't do that. I mean, being a musician, I had to work a job to be a musician. But if you're in that world, that's why you have to live in LA or New York or something like that, because you got to be where the work is. And so, I don't know. I think it's weird when I think about you got to pay $6,000 a month for rent. For rent in New York. That's if you got a 1-bedroom.
That's crazy. I don't pay. He pays $850 for.
Yeah, I mean, $850.
The 1-bedroom we have.
Oh, that's a 1-bedroom? Wow, rent's really going up.
The room that we had on Logan Street, we paid $800 for that for both of us, because for just the room. And normally it's $600, but because it was me and him in there, they wanted $800.
Wow, that's just crazy stuff. And the thing is, like back in the old days, back when I was married the first time, we bought a trailer for, I don't know how much, it was a couple grand. And then you pay your payments for the trailer, and then you pay for the lot rent. When I first started, I thought, wow, $75 a month for rent, lot rent, that's not bad. And then the next, 3 months later, it was like, they want $150. Now they want $250. Once it hit $300, I said, we got to get out of here.
Right.
We're spending this $300 plus our $200 or whatever it was that we were paying. And back then, that was a lot of money.
And I mean, now you see trailers, this much for the trailer, but you got to pay this much for lot rent if you're accepted.
Yes.
You got to be accepted by the park.
Sure your grass is cut, and if you have a fence, you got to have. If you didn't have the fence when you bought it, you can't put one up. And if you know,
Yep.
Yeah. It was funny when I moved out of that place. I said, I'm going to move out of this place. I'm going to sell this place to someone else. You can't do that. Why can't I? Because they aren't approved. I said, oh, really? So you expect me to keep this trailer and pay for the trailer, and you may not approve them, so I got to pay to keep this trailer here, huh? She said, yes. I said, you know what? You know what I think I'll do? I'm going to hire someone to haul this trailer out. No, we don't want you to do that. I said, I'm not going to keep it here, and I'm not going to pay you lot rent.
Right.
And, well, we can't have that. And I said, look, I'm giving them the trailer away. I think I sold the trailer for $1,000 just to get rid of it. And I would have given it away, because at that point I had a house. I bought a house. And I wasn't going to pay for the house and the trailer.
Right.
And I didn't like living there because I was tired of the button their noses in me and stuff.
I mean, when we lived in the trailer park, when I lived there, when my grandfather wasn't getting along with our neighbor, my grandfather was mowing, and he mowed maybe a half an inch to an inch over the property line.
Oh, jeez.
And the guy called the cops on him and said,
Called the cops?
Yeah. Said, he was trespassing on my property. I mean,
this
guy has.
Oh, did you want to give that story?
Yeah, I have.
I forget what the story was, but you said you had a story that was.
Yeah, I actually have it up right there. I can send the link so you can bring it up.
Yeah, I just remembered that.
My sister actually. I was talking to my sister on the phone before I came up here, and she read this to me.
Christina Harding said, I don't know, this must be it. Oh, it must be it. Actor Billy Miller. Who's Billy Miller? Actor Billy Miller? I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I saw that one too. He has
killed himself?
Yeah. I saw that too before I was on my way up here.
Let me see if there's anything I need to do that I missed. Oh, tell me when you send it.
Oh, I sent it to you already.
Oh. Okay. Let me get over here and see what we got. Let's see this. Come on. Go.
You just want to take a good old time with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I want to reboot it. And, Come on. Oh.
Nope. I think that's the one we did before. This one.
There was, there was a Panera thing.
Yep.
Okay, so Panera
Panera
Bread's charge. Yes, okay, I remember that. I did see that. Charged lemonade.
Blamed for a second death.
What is in the charged lemonade?
It goes on here to explain. So I don't. Do
you sell it?
Yes, we sell them. So we now have them behind our counter. We used to have them out with all our other beverages.
Okay.
We now have them behind our counter. Is it
alcoholic?
No. It has caffeine in it. It has a bunch of caffeine in it.
How much? Because that would be an issue if it's got a lot. Wait, is that
we have now signs. We had to put up signs stating about it, and now we have.
Where's my earphones, just in case it's speaking?
I don't think it's playing because I think it. Yeah, no, it's not playing anything.
Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Yeah.
So they're using. Stop talking. Okay, back it up. Because in there it says. I mean, see. The thing is, if you have that much freaking caffeine in it, that could be an issue. That's like if Diet Pepsi decided to put that much in a Diet Pepsi that could kill somebody. I mean, they really should test that stuff. But on the other hand, if it isn't that much out of the norm, but some of those drinks are horribly overly done. And
yeah, I mean, technically it was supposed to be. Not technically. It is plant-based.
Oh, is it? Okay. Holy cow! It says it's equal to 1, 2, 3,
12.
12?
Or not 12. No.
11 and a half.
Yeah.
Freaking hey, that's a lot. In one drink? Oh, okay, 1 30 ounce drink.
Yeah, 30 ounce.
Well, I can understand that being a problem.
Yeah, and that's our large size drink cup, though.
That would be if you drank it all at once, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's some people that would do that. But you see, that kind of stuff doesn't keep me awake.
Right.
And I don't quite understand why people drink that much caffeine because, man, that's if you need that much caffeine to go through a day, you're doing something wrong.
Okay, so here it is. The first couple sentences. Panera Bread's highly caffeinated charged lemonade is now blamed for the second death according to a lawsuit filed Monday. Dennis Brown of Fleming Island, Florida, drank 3 charged lemonades from a local Panera on October 9th and then suffered a fatal cardiac arrest on his way home, the suit says.
Under what time period? That
It
day?
just says 3.
Well, that's stupidity. That's like suing the gun manufacturer because you shot yourself in the mouth. Because, I didn't know it would go off. You know, there's certain things you got to do that you got to have some kind of common sense. I mean, if that was for one drink,
At least 390 milligrams of caffeine. A large 30-ounce fluid ounce charged lemonade has more caffeine in total than any size of Panera's dark roast coffee. Yeah.
So basically, if that
And
Panera,
a large cup contains more than the caffeine content of standard cans of Red Bull and Monster energy drinks combined. Plus,
and those are horrible for
the
you too.
equivalent of nearly 30 teaspoons of sugar.
See, now that's like you should have. They put
The Food and Drug Administration says healthy adults can safely consume 400 milligrams of caffeine a day.
And that guy took 3 of those. So
Drank 3.
I mean, how stupid are you? I mean, that's really stupid. The guy.
It is unclear whether Brown knew how much caffeine and other stimulants were in the drink, which at the time of his death was available in self-serve dispensers and offered side by side with all of the store's non-caffeinated and or less caffeinated drinks, the suit says. So they had theirs out front, which is not which again, we have ours now behind our counters.
Well, you shouldn't have to do that. I'm
You're
sorry,
right.
but there's when we started putting labels on everything,
I'm trying to figure
you could
out.
suffer a paper cut because of this or whatever. There's certain
Let's
things
see if I
that
can find it on.
there's a certain amount of logic that you got to really use. You got to know that that's not good for you. That's.
Let's see if it's in my learning.
I kind of feel bad for Panera, actually, because if someone's actually drinking 3 of those a day, I'm sorry, that's their own fault. That's like if you take those shots, like those 5-hour shots or whatever, and just start drinking them until you explode.
So usually I drink the Monster coffee energy drinks mixed together in the mornings, but I only allow myself 1 of those.
You probably are pushing it, though, because especially since you have health problems already, you probably should consider not doing that because you got a kid. I don't know. It's kind of like, see, I still get weirded out by people who sue the cigarette company. Okay, everyone knows under the sun that cigarettes are bad for you. I don't care how old you are at this point. If you are alive, you know you shouldn't smoke. My brother died of brain cancer and lung cancer. He knew it was bad for him, but he refused to admit it. He thought it won't kill. Guess what? It killed you. I could have. He was telling me he was going to outlive me because I was so fat. I was never going to be able to live to be 50. He died at 52. Guess what? I win. The guy with the most toys wins. I won. And it's not something I wanted to win, but, it's something that it doesn't make sense that you know this kind of stuff, yet you still keep doing the same stuff. Now, you can turn that around on me and say, well, you were fat for all your life, and you knew that. Yeah, I did know that, and I didn't have a will to live either. And at that point, I didn't care.
I'm trying to find. We have the signs, and I'm trying to find where.
You do have signs that say that about.
Yeah, we now have signs that we had to have put out.
But you really, I know that you got to do it because you got to protect yourself. But where is the line? I push the envelope all the time, but I don't kill anybody.
Right.
But where do you got it? Where's the line? There's got to be a line. If you hit your toe on this desk, you're going to stub your toe. There's certain things that really is logic. You're being told all your life you got to be careful about too much caffeine. You got to be careful because of this. You got to be. There's certain things that are givens. You smoke too much, you're going to die. These are logic. You drink too much caffeine, it's going to kill you. If you do anything too much, it's going to kill you. If you read too much, it'll kill you somehow. I don't know how, but it'll kill you. You know, you just got to think about, you just got to be smart about things. And when I hear things like this, I just, you know, shake my head like, what's going on? Why can't people think? Are we in a society where our people just will not think unless they get paid for it? I don't know. I don't understand it. You know, it's like, okay, it's like the coyote. The coyote should know he's never going to catch the roadrunner. And the coyote should just quit and look for a slower animal to chase. Or he should know, don't stand under that big rock. It's going to fall on your head. He doesn't die, but it's got to hurt. There's certain things you got to learn from your mistakes. And what do you want? What do you want? You want some caffeine? You want something, don't you? Because you're a beautiful dog. You know that. You're my beautiful baby. You're my beautiful baby. Yes, you are. I like my baby. I would never do anything wrong. Yeah. I love my baby. Anyway, well, that's a, what? You were a pesky dog today. Yes? What do you want? You want to sign off? You want to sign off on the show? I'll let you say goodbye if you want. Okay, you want to say it? All right, I'll let you say it. Give me my microphone. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that I just don't... Hello? Why do you keep scratching me when I'm trying to finish the show? You're a distraction. She's a cute dog. She drives me crazy. She's got this thing now where she hits you with her foot. She wants you to pay attention. You got to pay attention. Yeah, see? What? I'm not your treat box. What are you hitting my leg for? So, anyway, all right. Well, I guess that's it. Unless you have something else. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the show and listening to me complain and ramble on for almost 3 hours. And, hope you enjoyed part of the show, or all of the show, or some of the show, whichever it takes. We'll talk to you guys next week, and I'll have a regular show next week.